Yo, 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 and hello and welcome to the 135th episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go up for free feed subscribers every Wednesday in audio format on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning HD, where we need you to hit subscribe and click that notification bell. Anyways, this show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter to never miss an episode and buy sick t-shirts from our shop. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, JAMAL Jafra, alongside Brent Bodacious Bass.
I thought you were going to be like, Brent, hit subscribe, Bass.
Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do.
What's up, man? How's the world? How's life? How's the other stuff?
It's good. Okay. I was listening to this New A Day to Remember song. I want to mention this. The song is called Degenerate. Mm-hmm. Now, do they have a new album out? It's just a new single.
Just a single?
But it's neither here nor there. Okay. What the whole point of this is that in my mind, I don't know why, but just something hit me. And I was like, if this isn't already a DJ, somebody can take this name. If you listen to us, but just give us credit for this. Give me credit for this. Your DJ name is Ellen Degenerate.
Oh,
yeah. Tell me that wouldn't be a perfect
What
DJ
if it was Illin Degenerate?
Illin Degenerate.
You know what I mean?
I'm telling you. How is that not already done?
That is the sickest DJ name ever.
Not, dude?
I almost want to become a DJ just because I know that name would get me to the top.
Or you could just use it as a Twitter handle, and that Twitter would just take off.
That's got to be somebody's Twitter handle.
It's like fuck Jerry, like that kind of thing where it's like
that's seriously one of the most brilliant things I've ever heard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks to A Day to Remember for putting that into my mind, just because of the name of the song.
I was about to say, did they say like?
No, the song is just called Degenerate, and they're like, my friends are degenerates, and I was like, how come nobody's called Ellen Degenerate yet? Like, why isn't that a thing? I feel like that would be a thing,
bro.
Yeah,
that's just brilliant.
Yeah. You guys want ideas? You know where to go. Yeah, we got them. Anyways, yeah. So, also this week, I watched El Camino. Did you watch El Camino?
I did watch El Camino.
How did you feel about El Camino?
It was alright. I think it had its moments. I liked it more than I enjoyed watching the Better Call Saul spinoff. But
yeah.
Then again, the Better Call Saul wasn't like directly related to the events of Breaking Bad. That being said, it was a little anticlimactic, if you ask me. Maybe I'm crazy. But I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was kind of like, was this necessary? Did we need this?
I mean, I think it would have been more necessary if something other than the, contrary, okay, you assume already that, spoiler.
That he got away.
Yeah.
You assume he's fine.
You assume he got away. You assume he's fine. So the fact that is all that really, spoiler alert, but that's really all that happens in the movie is you see how he gets away and why he's fine. And it's like, okay, that's cool and all, but we already kind of thought that that's what happened. I think it would have been more interesting, and actually I saw an article with Vince Gilligan talking about almost this exact situation, but he was talking about how he originally was thinking about having Jesse get, arrested, immediately in the movie, and, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think there's a lot of interesting directions they could have gone with that. Maybe he does get away, but he does get arrested also, and he breaks out of prison. I wouldn't have been mad if the whole movie was just a prison movie about Jesse in prison. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I feel like it would have been less. Honestly, the problem with it was that there was too many things that just were too it was oh, how convenient,
right?
Almost everything in it was that's conveniently placed.
I liked certain parts of it a lot, though. You know what I mean? There were moments in the movie that made me smile and I enjoyed the movie itself.
It was tense. Yeah, there was lots of moments where it was oh shit, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, I just think it could have been better, especially considering how much time they had to make it, or come up with the idea for it or whatever. I don't know. That being said, I didn't hate it. You know what I mean? I think I
No.
just expected a little more from it. You know what I mean?
I didn't. I actually went in with no expectations, and also that little recap at the beginning told me nothing about what was going on in this movie.
Fortunately, I've watched Breaking Bad in its entirety like 3 times, so I'm pretty well versed in everything that's happened. So
I've only seen it once all the way through, and I wasn't about to sit through it again just to watch
Audra
this
had
movie.
only seen it once, and she had like forgotten who like Todd was and shit, you know, which is like important as fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
you mean knock off Matt Damon?
Yeah, knock off Matt Damon, who's gained a little bit of weight since his original
it's
role.
like, what the hell?
And then they kept doing flashbacks to the time period when he would have been like in the same time period as the show, but he was still like
fatter than.
It's like you couldn't have lost 15 pounds before we did this. Like, I'm not hating, but you know, come on, we're all professionals here. Go get on the fucking treadmill, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and he was a lot less scary in this one. Like, it was like, you know, he still had that like tense, menacing thing, but he was also nicer for some reason.
I mean, they still alluded to the whole him being kind of psycho thing with like him killing that one lady.
Yeah, with the lady, but I mean, with him specifically, you know, like the one thing that like I thought he did on purpose was leave the gun in there, you know, like with where Jesse could get it. I thought he did that on purpose and was going to have it like be empty. Like I thought Jesse was going to like pull the trigger and nothing was going to happen. He was going to be like, you fucking idiot, and like beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But he actually accidentally left the gun in there. I was like, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb. But it was also dumb that Jesse just gave up like that.
Yeah.
But then I get it, you know, they really wanted to stress the whole PTSD kind of like Jesse's psychology is all thrown off, you know, and that's why, you know, like there's a lot of like points they were trying to drive home.
Also, Jesse was a bitch for the majority of the fucking show. So, like, at that time, he was still a bitch.
I think the problem really with El Camino is that it was a movie. You know, I think you can't have the same kind of pacing and style of Breaking Bad in a movie format. You know, it was perfect for a TV show. It's not perfect for a movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And also, it just gave it gave us a story that nobody asked for. I think that's what it is. It's just the fact. I feel like they only did this because they just felt like doing it. They were like, hey, let's all get back together and do a nice little, you know, movie. Yeah. It was for them. I feel like it was more for them than it was for the audience.
I still enjoyed it. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure everybody out there thinks I just fucking hated it. And it's that's not the case. No. I definitely didn't hate it.
I enjoyed it. It was entertaining, but for a 2-hour piece of material, like, honestly,
could have had more expanded the lore a little more. Yeah, I feel you.
It almost felt like it was just like something that just floats in space on its own. Like, it's like, what is this connected to, you know, and why? Mm-hmm. You know, and then at the end you're like, wait a minute, that's it? That's the fucking end? It's like, I mean, you could have just said that at the beginning, like in 5 minutes. You didn't have to show us all this.
And I feel like even then, it's not really the end. Like, you know, there's so much more that could have happened from there, you know? I mean, look at what happened, I mean, at the end of Breaking Bad, which had a very similar, you know, scenario going on. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's just a lot more to be desired there.
I feel like they could have made Walter survive or something. Spoilers.
They could have, but that would have been too friggin' obvious. Yeah. You know what I mean? I like that Walter was dead. You know?
I guess.
I don't know.
I like that he was dead, but I don't like that he wasn't in this movie. You know, like, it's like he had
that flashback with him
for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
my thing is like, he was what made the show good.
And you know, that's what's funny is because that flashback, for that 2 seconds he was in the show, it felt like you got that heaviness. Like, he brought so much to the show. Like, it wouldn't have been the same if anybody else played Walter White. No. You know what I mean? Like,
and Jesse Pinkman isn't a standalone character. Like, he's a sidekick.
No.
Like, you can't have Jesse Pinkman as the only character. Not that like I said, it was a good movie, but it still felt empty. It was like he was becoming they were trying to make him the hero, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, why though? We don't care to see him as the hero. Nobody wants to see Jesse Pinkman as the badass.
Yeah, like, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Although I'll tell you what happened good this week. That one thing.
What's that?
One piece of media that was released.
Only
that was
one
excellent.
thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Bayside put out a new album.
Oh, nice. Okay,
it's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's one of their better ones.
For all those who don't know, Bayside is a pop punk band,
and they're very good band. Look them up. It's also a city in New York or something, I think. Either way,
Bayside's in California. I thought.
I think there's probably Baysides all over the place.
Yeah, there's probably a Bayside like in Texas,
right?
Yeah, but
either way, they put out a new album. It's excellent. Go check it out if you're a fan.
Yeah, do that. Go look up some pop punk from like 2007, which is like actually they're way before that, huh?
I don't know, but they've been dropping since Victory Records basically formed as a label. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I actually saw that Victory Records just got bought out by somebody or something.
I'm not surprised. They kind of died off a little while ago. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they were there for our emo phase, dude. They were there to hold us through. But
what else have you been doing
cool.
this week?
I watched. Now, check this out. For the first time in my life, I watched Silence of the Lambs.
Really?
Yeah, the very first time.
It's a good movie, right?
It was good. Yeah, it was good. It was a little ridiculous, but it was good. Like,
I feel like it's one of Jodie Foster's better.
Her accent was ridiculous. Like the whole time.
Dude, I don't know.
She's just it's like, well, I don't know if I should be doing that. Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah, you gotta.
I can't even do it. I can't do it fast like that.
What did he say? He ate his kidneys with some fava beans.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, yeah, oh yeah. That part, I was like, okay, that's a little over the top, but I'm into this. And
the sequel's pretty good too. Hannibal. If you ever get
is that the sequel or the prequel? Which one's the prequel?
Red Dragon.
Red Dragon. Is that one any good?
Yeah, it's not as good to me.
Okay.
It's good, but it's not a lot of people would probably disagree with me, but
yeah,
I didn't like it as much as the first two they put out.
Yeah, I like Silence of the Lambs. I'll check out the Hannibal.
Hannibal might be a prequel too. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I remember Hannibal being really good, and you get a lot more Hannibal, obviously. Like
more cannibal.
It's more about Hannibal and his like fucking actions as opposed to him just being like, the helper character or whatever.
Is it still Sir Anthony Hopkins?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, he's good. He's good. that little twist with the body, like where they took in the ambulance. I was like, damn, caught me off. I was like, wait a minute, he's in the fucking ambulance.
It's a good movie, dude. I don't know.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Anyways, yeah, well, now I finally understand like all the references to like it puts the lotion on the skin.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, I've gone my whole life without knowing what it is.
You probably heard that a million times.
Oh yeah,
and not got it.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Or as it gets the hose again, or the fucking "Would you fuck me?" Like,
it's like I'd fuck me.
I'd fuck me. Oh.
His voice was ridiculous, like the whole time.
That guy was good too. They did a wonderful job with it. All the character casting in that movie was the best.
It was really good. It was really good. What about you? Is that it? Is that your week?
Yeah, pretty light week.
Yeah, I felt like I did more, but then I reflected on my week and I'm like, wow.
I just kind of worked a lot this week, and then I'd come home from work and my girlfriend would be like sitting there watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians,
Oh God.
And then I'll just sit down and I'm so tired from work I just end up getting sucked into that shit, which is fucking ridiculous because it's like not the kind of thing I usually watch, you know what I mean? But like
Keeping Up with the
fucking it's just like the Osbournes basically, but with the Kardashians. It's fucking terrible.
And every now and then
it's one of the worst shows ever made. But
fucking Kanye drops in. He's just like,
I don't think we're that far in the fucking show yet, or at least I don't really.
How many seasons are there?
There's like 10, dude.
Yeah, I'd rather cut off my foot due to diabetic complications than watch that show.
Man, yeah, that's pretty terrible.
Sorry, I just can't. But I understand. Sometimes reality TV is.
It just draws you in. That's the thing. I always sit down and I like intend to change it, and then I just like find myself. It's like 3 hours later, and I'm like, "What the fuck am I doing right now? I need to fucking go to sleep."
Yeah, sometimes I miss those shows like from MTV, where like when our MTV stopped playing music and it just became like reality TV,
like Robin Big and shit.
Yeah,
like that.
Robin Big. There was like this one show where like this bus would pull up and like there's like a bunch of dudes on the bus. Like the chicks would have to like pick the dudes. Like I don't even remember.
Oh, Next.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Next, dude.
Next was great, dude.
That shit was great.
Fuck.
Like
you're talking about like back in the day, dude.
Yeah, dude. That's just
or like
fucking...
Flavor of Love and shit.
Yep,
bro.
Yeah.
Or like they had so many of loves. The one with fucking Tila Tequila and shit.
Hell
fucking,
yeah, dude.
bro.
I didn't. Not that I watch these like consistently. It was great whenever like you were just hanging out like with like your girlfriend
good,
or
like,
whatever.
hanging out.
Yeah, you just put it on. That was this is like the old Netflix.
Bro, I'm gonna go back. That's something my girlfriend would fucking get a kick out of. That Next show. She probably never watched that shit.
Oh god, yeah. There's a bunch of like emo dudes on there and stuff from back in the time, back in the day. Also, before we jump into the news, I figured this isn't really news for video games, but Disney Plus like released like a list of all the shit that's going to be on Disney Plus, dude.
Boy, drop it on me,
Did
dog.
you see it?
No.
It's too
You
long
got
to
it?
drop everything, but
Give me some of the highlights, bro. Give me the highlight reel.
fucking every Disney Channel original movie
What?
is going to be on there.
So
like all the way
Brink
back
and
to like
the Alley Cat
1980.
Strike and shit.
Oh
dude?
yeah, dude. Phantom of the Mega fucking Plex is going to be on there.
No
dude.
fucking way.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, is fucking Smart House gonna
Smart
be?
House is going to be on that bitch, dude.
What?
Yeah, dude. Day
Dude,
one.
that's worth it just for that, dude. Like,
That's what I'm saying. It's got
Bro.
Halloween Town.
bro,
It's got all that shit.
Hocus Pocus and shit. That's a Disney movie, right?
I don't think so.
Is it?
It might
Is
be.
it not?
I'm
Maybe
not sure.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
But I mean, Halloween Town's just as good. So you got all that shit. You got all the like,
There's some gems on there, dude.
you got all the Nat Geo like documentaries. Like
Ooh.
Nat Geo is going to be on there for whatever reason.
Informational, dog.
Oh, yeah,
I
dude.
like that.
That's going to be good. You got like you got a bunch of Marvel movies. All the Star Wars movies, including the prequels,
hmm
and then
and all kinds of new Star Wars shit and Marvel
Yep.
shit coming. They got that Mandalorian show. I don't know if
Oh,
that's
yeah,
probably
dude.
not gonna be there.
Mandalorian's going to be day one.
It's gonna be day one.
I'm pretty sure it's day one.
Bro, what's this? $9.99 a month or something?
$6.99.
$6.99.
$6.99 a month.
Your boy's getting it, dog. That's cheaper than going to the fucking movies, dude.
Yeah, like if you
Think about it. That's cheaper. That is cheap as fuck. You spend more than that on like one meal. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, just to make sure, just so I'm not saying. And Disney said the service will cost $7 a month or $70 a year,
bro, I will so fucks with that.
and it's got ESPN.
I was about to say,
got-
I've heard that that you can get it bundled with like Hulu and ESPN
Yep.
Plus, and that is also cool because if you're like me and you watch UFC fights, they have like 70% of the UFC fights come on ESPN Plus for free. The only ones that you don't get are like the pay-per-view ones. But even then, there's a lot of really good fights you can get
Hell
for
yeah,
free
dude.
and high quality as fuck. You know what I mean?
Fucking all the like, you're gonna have a Goofy movie, extremely Goofy movie, all the
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
Disney movies that you
and
can think
Hulu's
of.
already pretty well established with all kinds of good
Oh yeah,
shit. You know
Bob's
what I mean?
Burgers,
So,
Family Guy, American Dad,
Yeah.
all the good shit's gonna be
Man.
on there.
Bro.
I'm ready.
That's incredibly exciting.
That's next month. That's this upcoming month. Disney Plus will be free. No, I'm just kidding.
I think they might have you think they'll have a free trial? I know that a
Oh,
lot of
I'm
those
sure.
things do the free trial,
You can go and like pre-order it now, which is like ridiculous to me that you can pre-order a streaming service.
Is it
but-
going to have an app on the consoles and stuff?
Yeah,
That's one thing that'll be a big difference to me,
It will.
Because
it's Disney, dude.
you look at like the Switch though. We got Hulu on the Switch and not Netflix on the Switch. You know what I mean?
That's Switch's fault. That's not
That is
Netflix's
Switch's fault. But I think it's just weird. Don't you
Yeah.
think that's a little weird?
I mean, it is weird, but Nintendo's always behind on that shit. Like always.
It just seems like they should do it.
There's a lot of things that I feel for Nintendo.
Like, why do they have YouTube and Hulu, but not Netflix? Think about how tight that would be to just have. Well, I guess we have Netflix on our phones
Yeah,
and
on
stuff.
your
But,
phone.
I mean,
with way better quality than the Switch
what,
screen.
dude? I want it on the Switch. That's just how it is, bro.
Isn't that weird that your iPhone is more powerful than the Switch?
Yeah. Because, it's cool with Hulu, dude. Like, because you have it on your big screen or whatever, and then, you got to go to the bathroom or you got to go get a drink out of the fridge. You just take the Switch with you. Boom. Doesn't even pause.
Dumping and watching the clumps.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Dumping and clumping.
Yeah, dumping and clumping, dude. Is that a real show? Is that a real movie? The Clumps is the thing, right?
The clumps, yeah. That's
Okay.
that Eddie Murphy movie where he has the
Or is that
fat suit on.
Norbit? No.
Wait a minute.
There's 2
Okay,
movies
all right.
with him in a fat suit. Anyways,
we got to get into the show.
Yeah, we got to get into the show. Sorry, guys. Don't want to go down that rabbit hole. So we're going to jump into the video game news. Just so you guys know, we're using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we do not claim any of the material as our own. We are simply giving commentary on these articles and, our thoughts and opinions and shit.
Or are we?
None of these opinions are mine. No, so we're going to start off. Pokemon Sword and Shield arrive on Nintendo Switch next month, and the Pokemon Company has more to share about the games ahead of their launch. The company has announced a new Galar research update video will drop tomorrow, October 16th, or today when you're listening to this. So unfortunately, we won't be able to give you the news on this till next week, but promising some more new details about the Switch RPGs. The Pokemon Company hasn't teased what we can expect from tomorrow's update, only that it will drop at 6 a.m. PT. So that's we'll probably be posting about it in the group and stuff. So
very cool. A little more Pokemon Sword and Shield news. We're a month away from the release of Pokemon Sword and Shield on Nintendo Switch, with the Gen 8 Pokemon RPGs looming on the horizon. Fan site Cerebi reports that download cards for the game have begun appearing in stores in Japan, and they reveal the title's file size, as well as a couple more returning Pokemon. According to the download cards, Pokemon Sword and Shield will each weigh in at 10.3 gigabytes. While that seems minuscule compared to many games on other platforms, that puts Sword and Shield at the largest among the largest first-party Switch titles. For comparison, last year's Pokemon games, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, are each 4.2 gigabytes. Additionally, the download cards confirm that the Gen 5 Psychic-type Gothia, as well as its evolved forms, will return in Sword and Shield, as well as Sun and Moon's Fire Dragon Turtle Turtonator. We still don't know how many Pokemon in total will be available in Sword and Shield. The games controversially won't feature every old monster, but more than 250 have been confirmed thus far.
Turtonator. That's a brave choice for a name. Yeah, okay. Blizzard has canceled an Overwatch for Switch launch event scheduled to take place this week to celebrate the game's release on Nintendo's hybrid platform. The event was supposed to take place on October 16th at the Marquee Nintendo store in New York City. However, it's no longer going ahead. Blizzard canceled the event, Nintendo said in an update on Twitter, quote, "We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause," end quote. The cancellation of the event is a surprise given it was only just announced on October 9th. It was supposed to be a launch party of sorts for Overwatch's Switch version, and voice actors from Overwatch were scheduled to appear to meet fans. Blizzard was recently again in the news after the company released a statement regarding the action it took against a Hearthstone player, Blitzchung, who voiced their support for the ongoing Hong Kong protests. Blizzard has...
Did we talk about that already?
Yeah, we did. But apparently Blizzard has reduced his ban and restored his prize money.
So what did he do exactly? He just talked about the Winnie the Pooh thing, and they freaked out about it. What exactly? Can you recap that whole scenario?
Okay,
for me?
So it has nothing to do with Winnie the Pooh. There's a bunch of protests. No, there's a bunch of protests in Hong Kong right now for freedom and democracy because China is trying to. So Hong Kong and China are two separate entities.
Right.
So what's happening right now is that there was like this whole thing where China was basically saying that Hong Kong needs to extradite, people to China, like for, I guess, basically like crimes or whatever. And they were like, no, Hong Kong's like its only, is its own place. We don't have to deal with you. So, and that's becoming a big issue because Tencent is like a company that owns like giant portions of these companies like Blizzard and stuff like that, and they're a China owned company, so they are censoring certain people. Like so like whenever he came out, this Hearthstone player was like, yo, support Hong Kong, and all this stuff. China, or like Blizzard, in a quick reaction, fired the two people that were filming him. Like, they straight up fired the people that were interviewing him, even though they sent those interviewers to interview him. They were like, we didn't know he was going to say that. Like, it's not like we didn't know it was a bad thing. He said it anyways, and then so But what their money was in danger, in my opinion. I think Blizzard was afraid because Tencent owns a portion of them, a huge percentage actually, and they didn't want to piss them off because they have China has their hands in the pocket, of Blizzard.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I feel like this is partially Blizzard's fault for getting into bed with
China
in the first place. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Blizzard is, despite the fact that Tencent owns a lot of it, an American-based corporation. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, I don't think they should be firing anybody over, like, speech-related things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
anything other than, like, not performing aptly at making a video game or, like, being disruptive or something in the workplace. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't... I don't know. This is America. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I don't give a shit.
Communist China can't be censoring our fucking Hearthstone players.
That's
because,
what I'm saying.
like,
Fuck
they're
that.
like it's bullshit. I mean, look, they just banned South Park in China. Like, that we should have put on the news because basically South Park made an episode kind of like joking about all this stuff and like...
Oh, I remember. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It was actually really funny.
Yeah, and so they're completely...
and it had the Winnie the Pooh thing.
They're completely banned in China now. And like, I mean, the NBA just got in trouble for the same thing Blizzard did, like with people, not in trouble with anybody other than the people being like, yo, fuck you.
Yeah.
We're not going to bow down to communist China just because they're paying your fucking bills, like... It's just crazy.
It's definitely crazy. I don't know. To me, I just personally think that, like, I don't know, man. That's a tough cookie right there. I think Blizzard should just kind of be like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, if they, it's not like they can't recoup. Like they'll figure out a way to recoup from that. But like, you can't like.
Like, what are they gonna do? Fucking like
cut them out from selling games there? Like ban them from China? China's like a huge fucking marketplace.
I guess so, but I mean, like you'd still be a successful company without them. I mean, you were for many years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a matter of like being greedy at this point, and like and I don't know. That's just my opinion on it.
Companies are greedy. It's not like it's just one dude, it's like this giant corporation, so it's crazy to think about. But like,
it's like, are we all just gonna sell out our morals because China's just gonna give us a fuckload of money?
Hell yeah, dude. That's what's gonna happen. Look, 50 years from now, we're all gonna be speaking goddamn Chinese. we're all gonna be working in some nice Blizzard factories.
As long as we're fucking rich, right? Like,
yeah, well, we won't be rich. No.
See, that's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to be
Somebody's
working in the factories.
Somebody's going to be rich, and we're going to be working in factories. It's going to be terrible. I'm not feeling this.
We're going to be putting together like little action figures of WoW characters and shit.
Our podcast is going to get censored than a motherfucker. Dude.
Oh yeah, dude. It's just going to be bleeps.
It's already going to happen. That's probably why our video got deleted last week. Because of the censorship. They saw it, and they were like, oh, it's happening.
Yeah, they're like, no. Okay, what do you got?
From October 15th to November 5th, there will be a big Halloween event going on in Apex Legends. That's kind of a short one.
Boo.
So, boo, spooky time. I can go ahead and lay another one on you, though, if you want.
Lay
since
it.
It was so short. Fortnite Chapter 2 is finally here. Rather than take the form of Season 11, which would have followed the game's established pattern, Epic recently took Fortnite Battle Royale offline entirely for more than a day, building anticipation for what would follow the black hole. So for those of you that don't know, because this is news from a few days ago, and this kind of rapidly all happened, Fortnite basically all just got sucked into a black hole, and everybody freaked out, and it was just like gone for like a few days. And like every time you tried to log in, there was just a big black hole there.
Yeah, 10-year-olds everywhere thought their lives were over.
Oh, it was caused pandemonium.
Yeah, that'd be like if Pokemon, like back whenever we were kids, was like Pokemon's over. Like
Right?
Ash died, Pikachu died.
Everybody was freaking out. Apex Legends finally had a successful weekend. No, I'm just kidding.
Since their launch, yeah.
But anyways, so now it's back, and it's Fortnite Chapter 2 instead of Season 11. So they have a whole new map on all the consoles. You can like fish now. You can swim now. There's a bazooka that shoots fucking band-aids. There's a boat you can ride. You can carry your down teammates around.
You can carry enemies as well.
Really?
Downed enemies.
I tried to play a little bit of this before work, but I logged in on all my consoles. I was like, oh yeah, new Fortnite time. And I logged in and it was 20 gigabyte update. And I was like, well, fuck.
Yeah, that would be the only reason I would play it is just to pick up downed enemies and run around with them.
Jump off a cliff.
Yeah, throw them. Make a tower and then throw them off the top.
Dude, I'm so about that life. Honestly, I think this is a breath of fresh air. I'm excited to see what they did with Fortnite. You know what I mean? Everybody gives Fortnite shit, but it's a decent game. And the fact that they're doing a whole new map,
shit. Do people give Fortnite shit?
People give Fortnite shit. They're like the Nickelback of video game. I mean, let's be real. They don't deserve it, but they get a lot of shit.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
I think maybe the shit talking comes from people who haven't played it. Maybe
I think the shit talking comes from people who have played it and just aren't good at it and get frustrated and decide those people who any game they're not good at is just a shit game to them. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of those.
You mean
people.
Shitty people?
Yeah.
Those people that suck and stuff. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
The internet does make up a lot of that population. I think
also Fortnite's player base is a little shitty. There's a lot of little kids that are just fucking crackheads that play, and they're kind of annoying. But I like to play solo, so I don't really deal with a lot of those people. You know what I mean?
Literal crackheads? At what age are kids doing crack now?
Not literal crackheads, more like just figurative crackheads.
Oh, okay.
They're just sitting in their room just screaming, It's where are your parents and why aren't they pissed off that you're screaming at 1 a.m. right now?
That's true. I remember we were crazy online, but we wouldn't scream.
No, we would just be cursing fools out.
Yeah, dude.
And they do that too. There's some pretty hardcore little kids.
Fucking all their moms, dude.
Some of these kids would fit in right at home in the Call of Duty days. You know?
Good days, dude.
Anyways,
good days.
So what you got?
Speaking of Call of Duty Modern Warfare's release on October 25th is coming up soon, and now one of the developers has clarified the game's stance on loot boxes. In short, there are none. Infinity Ward's Joel Emsley said on Reddit that the studio is, quote, definitely not working on any kind of supply drop or loot box system, end quote. He added that Modern Warfare's functional content, which impacts gameplay, is unlocked through gameplay, not by paying for it. More details about how Modern Warfare handles the system will be shared this week, he said. So cool. Yeah, good for people who don't like loot boxes.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I mean, I don't really care either way, honestly. You can have loot box. I don't care if you have loot boxes in the game as long as the base game itself isn't
affected by them.
Yeah, exactly. You can have all the fucking loot. See, I think that's a misconception. You know, it's I don't give a shit if you put loot boxes in. Just give me a good game on top of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure.
Anyways, I won't read this whole article, but Gears 5 is fucking banning people hardcore now for quitting in the middle of games. So if
and what type of games? Multiplayer versus and stuff?
Ranked multiplayer.
Oh.
So if you quit mid-match, you can get banned for up to a year. They're not fucking around.
Hell yeah, dude.
This one guy got banned for 640 days.
That's 2 years.
2 years. He said the full story is that he quit 18 out of 21 escalation matches they played in the previous 24 hours, and that was their punishment.
Yeah, that's because he's one of those shitty people that we were talking about, because he didn't want to lose in his ranked match, so he would quit,
Yep.
But then they brought down the ban hammer.
The ban hammer! A lot of people are saying that they're being too harsh, but you know what? Don't fucking quit.
Don't quit.
I get it. If you gotta leave to go pick up your kid from fucking school or some shit, but don't play ranked.
Yeah, why would you jump into a ranked match if that's the case?
I don't know.
And I'm sure if it's something like that, where it's you could
probably
send them
appeal.
an email,
Yeah.
Be like, hey, sorry guys, I had to take a shit. And then they're like, oh.
I think they're really looking for these 18 out of 21 escalation matches in 24 hours kind of motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
For certain.
Yeah. Anyway, so be careful if you're a fucking scumbag piece of shit playing Gears 5, because they're out to get you.
Yeah, they gonna find you, and then you're gonna have to play Fortnite.
Boom.
So Martin Scorsese's Martin
Scorsese.
Is it Scorsese's? Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese, my bad.
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese. I know how to say it. It's just weird reading it.
Scorsese?
Has Scorsese. Okay. Anyways, he has been critical of big budget blockbusters from the likes of Marvel, and he's recently doubled down on his sentiments. His new remarks are slightly softened, pointing out that he admires the craftsmanship, but he insists that it isn't cinema and that movies are skewing audience expectations of what movies should be. Quote, "It's not cinema. It's something else," Scorsese said during a press conference via THR. Quote, we shouldn't be invaded by it. We need cinemas to step up and show films that are narrative films. The press conference was to promote his upcoming film with Robert De Niro, The Irishman, which got amazing reviews. But he made similar statements during BAFTA's David Lean lecture. Quote, "Theaters have become amusement parks," he said. "That is all fine and good, but don't invade everything else in that sense. That is fine and good for those who enjoy that type of film. And by the way, knowing what goes into them now, I admire what they do. It's not my kind of thing. It simply is not. It's creating another kind of audience that thinks cinema is that."
I just don't. I mean, like, you can't just define what cinema is. You know what I mean?
I guess you can if you're Martin Scorsese, though.
I don't think so, dude. I mean, that's like, you know, I don't know, man. That's kind of unfair because look at like James Cameron, for example. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at all of the different types of movies he's made over his career, like Titanic versus like Avatar or something. Okay, if you're gonna say that these superhero movies that are mainly CG and action aren't cinema, then you have to say that Avatar isn't cinema, because that's basically a superhero movie in the respects of like how superhero movies are made nowadays, and like the length and the runtime.
I think he's talking about
the
story.
The story, even. You know, I mean, like, I don't.
And also, I don't think he's seen Joker. If he saw Joker,
dude, not
he would
only
change
did he
his mind.
see Joker, but he was set to like produce Joker.
No. I'm saying Martin
You know
Scorsese. Like, if he had seen this most recent Joker,
That's what I'm saying. He was supposed to like be.
He was part of it.
The producer. He was going to be, and then like something happened. I don't know why, you know, maybe he just like realized it was like based on a comic book and he's like, oh, never mind, or something.
Yeah, I mean, but maybe he's one of those people that don't like Fortnite, you know what I'm saying?
Look,
he's like that guy
if you don't like
cinema.
Fortnite, you're a fucking Martin Scorsese.
Well, I mean, that'd be a compliment to them. But that's what I'm saying is like maybe when it comes to films, he's like, he doesn't like the Nickelbacks, you know? Like he's never.
I guess so.
Like he's so good at what he does.
But that doesn't make Nickelback not a band, you know? That doesn't make Nickelback's music not music.
That's not what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
I'm agreeing with you that maybe he's just so up his own ass about like what he defines as cinema that he can't see past it to understand that if that was the case, then his movies would be making more money than fucking Marvel movies. You know, like though they do well, there's obviously a reason these movies do so well. It's because that's what people want, you know? It's like, but then again, I
just think it's unfair.
It also makes that same argument that maybe there's just selling out to whatever people want, and that's what he's saying. It should be from the heart. It should be what you want to make, not what people want to pay for. You know.
Oh, what if you're passionate about superhero movies? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I think it's just unfair of him to say that, you know? But then again, you know, he's probably got a little more say than I do, I'm sure. Obviously.
Maybe.
Maybe. Just a little bit, you know? But fuck that guy.
Quote.
And I'm not even that's the thing. I don't even go out and see every superhero movie that's made, you know? I'm not that guy.
No.
I haven't seen Endgame yet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do respect the fucking movies, you know? I think that
he said he respects it now.
He said he respects the craftsmanship, but it's still not cinema. Dude, it's fucking cinema, dog. Like, let's get real. I mean, we got like 3-hour-long movies that are like fucking, you know, have big, extensive plots that span over the course of like, you know, several, you know, movies over 10 years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's just a different form of storytelling, you know, than he's used to.
I just feel like it's ignorant for him to say, like, oh, the stories are stupid. You know, maybe they are a little stupid, but that's the part of what makes it like a comic book story. You know, it's like cliche in the it's like a B horror movie. You know, like.
Which I'm sure he loves. No, but he's old and he's been in Hollywood forever. The guy is probably just afraid of change. You know, that's all I'm saying. I get where he's coming from as being someone who, whenever I was a teenager, I was like, ugh, Justin Bieber. I
totally get where he's coming from because he probably sees these superhero movies just like I see like the Transformer movies. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. But you still have to admit that the Transformer movies, despite being...
The first one was fantastic. I'm sorry, that was a good movie. With Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
And Megan Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Good movie, dude. That was a good movie. Go back and watch it. It's actually entertaining. The second one, not so much. The third one, even less so. But the first one was fucking good.
My point is, good or bad, it's still cinema. You know what I mean?
It's still a movie, I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know what cinema means, honestly. Maybe he's going by like the technical term cinema.
I mean, if we're gonna get technical with it, then like we're talking about cinematics, you know? And very few things are more cinematic than a fucking Marvel movie. That's just my
cinema,
opinion.
The production of movies as an art or industry. So he's wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
Because even if it is just for money, that's what cinema means. It could be for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Martin Scorsese, read your fucking dictionary, bro.
Okay. Now we got that settled.
Yeah, finish that.
Finished him. No, I don't know. Pokemon Go's annual Halloween event is returning later this week. And developer Niantic has a lot in store for players this year. The festivities kick off this Thursday, October 17th, and include the appearance of costumed Pokemon, the debut of a new legendary, and some new trainer outfits.
Cool.
Plus a chance to catch a new shiny Pokemon. Beginning October 17th, you'll be able to encounter shiny Yamask in the wild, whatever the fuck that is. On top of that, Niantic is introducing a handful of new avatar items in the shop, Cubone Cat, blah, 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 and you'll have a chance to rescue shadow versions of the following Pokemon. Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill, Electabuzz, Magmar, Seedot, Nuzzleaf, Sableye, Trapinch, Cacnea, Shuppet, and Duskull. That's not all that awaits during this year's Halloween event. From October 17th to November 1st, Ghost and Dark-type Pokemon such as Ghastly and Murkrow will appear more frequently in the wild and in raids. You'll also have a chance to find special costume-wearing versions of Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle in raids, while Pikachu wearing Mimikyu costume will appear in the wild. Specially themed field and special research tasks will be available during the week as well. Niantic is also introducing the new legendary of the game as part of this year's Halloween event. Following the departure of Altered Form Giratina, the pitch-black Pokemon Darkrai will appear in 5-star raid battles around the world. Finally, you'll earn twice as much normal amount of candy when you catch, transfer, or hatch Pokemon. This Pokemon Go Halloween event runs until 1 p.m. On November 1st. You can read more about it on the official Pokemon Go website. Oh, and meanwhile, the next Community Day will take place on Saturday, November 16th, and that will be a Chimchar Day. So get excited about that.
Wow, cool. Chimchar. Yeah, you know you're fucking getting old when out of a list of 20 Pokemon named, you only know 3. It's like, wow.
Just need to get back in the game, bro.
I get it. I know what people mean when they call it Pokemon now. Anyway, so Konami Gaming Inc., a subsidiary of Konami that deals in designing and manufacturing casino games and technology, will be at this weekend's Global Gaming Expo in Las Vegas with a brand new Silent Hill game. But as you've probably figured out by now, it's not really a game. It's a video slot machine. It's called Silent Hill Escape. Details on Silent Hill Escape are scarce, but does it really matter? According to Yahoo Finance, Silent Hill Escape is a 4-wager slot experience, and one of the first to debut on Konami's new video slot cabinet, which features a 49-inch J-Curve 4K UHD display. Tom Gingoli, Executive Vice President and Chief Commercial Officer of Konami Gaming Inc., calls their new cabinet, quote, a first glimpse at great things to come from Konami.
I mean, people scoff at this or whatever, but if I was in the casino and I saw a fucking Silent Hill slot machine, that's like the first thing I'm gonna go for.
Well,
dude.
no shit.
You know what I'm
but
saying?
the thing that people are scoffing at is that Konami is basically just saying, fuck Metal Gear, fuck Silent Hill, all this stuff. We're just gonna go to pachinko machines and fucking casino games.
No, I think they're just. I mean, they've always had. Konami has been making slot machines for a long time.
They have.
This
but
isn't just like a new thing.
No, what's new though is the fact that they're basically taking all these IP that they could be making brand new games with and just putting it into their casino stuff.
I mean, why wouldn't you do... I mean, okay, if you own the rights to Resident Evil or whatever, or Silent Hill, or whatever the fuck...
They don't own Resident Evil.
Well, I'm just saying, okay, why wouldn't you just slap the name on one of your slot machines? I mean, it's going to make your slot machine sell better.
That's fine.
It's literally almost no effort on their part.
That's fine.
You know what I mean?
That's fine. But when's the last Silent Hill game that came out? We want Silent Hill as a fucking game.
So you think they have like the team from Silent Hill
no,
all working on
not.
this fucking
but I'm saying,
slot machine or some shit?
This is not what we want to see at the Gaming Expo. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to see this at the Global Gaming Expo.
The Global Gaming Expo is probably all about slot machines.
Do you think it is?
Probably.
Hold on. Let me see. Let's see what the Global Gaming Expo.
I don't know. That's my theory there. Because, again, Konami's been doing this for a hot minute. You know what I mean?
It's a gaming trade show. No, it's just like a normal video game trade show.
Oh, okay, so there's nothing about slot machines
No,
at all?
genre is video games.
Okay.
So
well,
that's what I'm talking about.
Maybe they picked the wrong place to display it or showcase it.
Yeah, they're like,
but
we're bringing Silent Hill to the gaming industry.
I don't think they're wrong for making a Silent Hill slot machine. As a matter of fact, I wish they would do more of their Konami slot machines themed after video games. I would love that. You know what I mean?
I mean, I would too, but I also want some actual video games from them.
True.
I don't want them to fire Kojima so he can go off and make this weird ladder game. We want PT, dude. PT would have been fucking awesome.
I don't think that they're not gonna make another Silent Hill game. They're just putting out a Silent Hill slot machine.
I personally don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna get further and further away.
If you don't think they're gonna make another Silent Hill game, then you are wrong.
I hope so. I hope so. I absolutely hope I am wrong.
It's just way too big of a name of a fucking IP. They're not gonna not make another Silent Hill.
My thing is,
it might not be what we want, but there will be another Silent Hill game. Mark my words.
We'll see. We'll see.
And it'll come soon. It'll be in the next 2 years. We'll have another Silent Hill game. I promise.
Okay, that's Brent's promise. 2 years.
Mark my words. A few episodes from now, they're gonna be like Silent Hill coming soon.
Okay, we're gonna check back in 2 years. Anyways, what you got?
Okay, a little more P-Go. Pokemon Go developer Niantic has launched a new tool that aims to make the process of adding new points of interest to its games easier. This tool is called Wayfarer, and it lets players not only suggest new way spots for Niantic titles, but also allows them to review and edit suggestions by other players. As Niantic explains in its blog, with Niantic Wayfarer, eligible players will be able to review nominations of local points of interest, museums, art installations, historical markers, etc., so they can be added to Niantic products, e.g., portals, Pokestops, and gyms. The tool is currently only available to select Ingress players, but the studio says it will expand to Pokemon Go users as well before the new year. You can learn more about the tool and sign up for it on Niantic's website.
Okay. Interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Google Stadia now has an official release date. During a launch event for the Google Pixel 4, the company announced that the Founders Edition will launch on November 19th. As previously announced, this year, the Stadia service will be exclusive to those who purchase the Founders Edition. That $130 pack includes a limited edition Night Blue controller, Chromecast Ultra, a 3-month subscription to Stadia Pro, early access to a Stadia name, and a 3-month Buddy Pass of Stadia Pro Pro for a friend. Once the full service launches in 2020, you'll be able to play on any supported device without needing to purchase a bundle. Part of Google's pitch for Stadia is that it opens up gaming to everyone, rather than restricting core games to high-end PC hardware or consoles.
Ah, man, I really feel like Google's about to get a reality check with this. You know what I mean?
Maybe it works, because you don't need a console. Yeah, you still have to pay.
I think it works. I think it works just fine. I think it's going to be great as far as like how functional it is, but yeah. I don't think it's going to do well.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe it will do well because you don't have to buy a console. You pay the $10 a month or whatever to have the platform, and then you just buy games. Like it doesn't matter, like you can play.
You
Xbox.
don't even have to pay the $10 a month technically if you don't want the 4K. You can play at a lower resolution for free. It's just not as good.
Yeah, but you can. So even better. I mean, you can buy games and not have a console or a PC that plays games.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see the benefit there, and I think I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see how it does, but I don't think it's going to do as well as they think it's going to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe they'll just sweep it under the rug.
I might be totally wrong. I just think it needs more perks and benefits to like get people drawn into it. You know what I mean?
It needs exclusives.
They should have made it to where it was like a streaming service where like you had like a library of shit to pick from. I think that
like
would
Game
have,
Pass?
Yeah, I think that would have made it successful right off the jump, even if they eventually transitioned out of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they need exclusives.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, because, I mean, what are you...
Well, they're apparently coming, but we still, we
Wow.
don't have anything, like, impressive or concrete right now. You know what I mean? Like,
I haven't heard anything about exclusives.
Well,
coming from them.
they have, like, people working on them. Like, they've said that they've got like studios developing exclusives for them, but they haven't really.
Did they?
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
I don't remember that. That's crazy if they do.
I could be wrong, but I was under the impression that they were working on some exclusives. Even part of their deal that they have with the Stadia thing talks about if you get the $130 like Pro Pack, you get one of the exclusives. I think.
No,
it says
because I just read all the stuff that comes with it.
What did it say?
You get the limited edition Night Blue controller,
right.
Chromecast Ultra,
right.
a 3-month subscription to Stadia Pro, early access to a Stadia name.
Okay,
and
there you go. Early access to a Stadia name.
That's just like your name. Like you get your like URL or not your gamer tag basically.
Well, I do think they are working on some kind of Stadia exclusive.
You would hope. That's the thing. Anyways, what do you got?
Call of Duty Mobile was downloaded over 100 million times in its first week after launch.
Still no Pokemon Go.
It was pretty
300
good.
mil for Pokemon Go in the first week.
Really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was 300 mil.
Are you sure?
Yeah, pretty sure. I'll check it while you're reading that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, that's probably correct. But this says a record-breaking number according to mobile app analytic expert Sensor Tower. It generated 56.9 million installs on iOS alone, which far exceeds the entire launch week numbers for other popular mobile competitors across both mobile platforms. To compare, PUBG Mobile and Fortnite Mobile saw 28 million and 22.5 million installs in their launch weeks, respectively. According to Sensor Tower's data, Call of Duty Mobile saw the most installs in the United States with about 17.3 million or 16.9% of the downloads, followed by India with 13.4% and finally Brazil with 7%. Call of Duty Mobile, developed by Tencent subsidiary Teamy Studios and published by Activision, is not out in China yet. But if Activision earns approval for launch in that market where mobile games remain extremely popular, installs could potentially skyrocket.
Nice. Okay.
What did Pokemon do over there?
I'm not able to find like the first week sales. I'm only able to find the first month sales, which was...
Well, it's not even sales, it's downloads.
Or downloads.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I typed in the wrong thing. First week downloads. Yeah, because I mean, I guess that would technically be the same thing, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not really.
They set the record for the most downloads. It says confirmed Pokemon Go was downloaded more times during its first week than any other app in the App Store's history. But how much? What's the?
Yeah.
As of Tuesday, the game topped 30 million downloads worldwide, becoming the fastest mobile game. That's in the first day. I don't know. I can't find like the first week. Did it say that they broke the record though?
It says, Call of Duty Mobile was downloaded over 100 million times this first week, a record-breaking number according to mobile app analytics experts.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think it was 90.5 million downloads for Pokemon Go.
Wow.
So they beat out Pokemon Go. That's pretty intense.
That's pretty impressive right there. I mean, you gotta. It's funny that they didn't use Pokemon Go as one of their statistics when they, I guess they really just wanted you to see how much bigger than PUBG and Fortnite it was, because those are like
those are more relevant at the moment.
Well, they're more like the type of game too,
Yeah, for sure. So the Halo Infinite development team has lost another person in a leadership role, but 343 Industries is urging fans not to worry. Mary Olson, who was the lead producer of Halo Infinite's campaign, has departed 343 Studios to join the nearby Seattle studio Midwinter Entertainment. Olson's departure from the Halo Infinite team caused some fans to worry that the Xbox One and PC game might be in trouble. However, 343 community manager John Unishek Junishek.
No, is that really his name?
I think the Unishek, like it's in quotes, as in like that's like his online persona, but his real last name is Junishek.
I was like, his parents were just
John Unishek Junishek said in a Reddit post that there is, quote, no creative dilemma, end quote, at the studio, and that Olsen's departure is not out of the ordinary for a game closing in on its release date. Fans were worried, it seems, because Olsen was just the latest high-level developer to leave the Halo Infinite team. Creative director Tim Longo left in August, and at the time, Olsen was named as his replacement of sorts to help oversee Halo Infinite's campaign. Unishek wrote on Reddit that Olsen's position as lead producer for the campaign was to, quote, help drive the game to its completion, end quote, before the holiday 2020 release date. Longo, meanwhile, was creative director for the entire game, spanning multiplayer and campaign. Unishek spoke out on Reddit to clarify this and assure fans that 343 is still working hard to make sure we can execute on Halo Infinite's vision. Unfortunately, the thread's title saying he was replaced with Mary Olson and she also left is far from accurate, Unishek said. It implies that Mary took over creative control of the entire game, didn't like what she saw, and then decided to leave. If that's what actually happened, I could totally understand getting worried, but that isn't the case, as she was a lead producer and not a new creative director. There is no creative dilemma inside the studio, and there's no writing on the walls. It is not clear who, if anyone, will take over for Olsen in overseeing Halo Infinite's campaign from now until release next year. So, what do you think? Do you think there's some creative dilemma that he's
some kind of conspiracy he's like covering up?
He's the community manager, so of course he's going to be out there being like, "Oh, no need to worry,
everything is fine.
It's me, Unishek Junishek."
No, I think it's probably not a big deal. She probably just got a good job offer. I don't think the game is in trouble or anything. You know what I mean? I think they have plenty of time to work on it still. You know what I mean? So it's not like they're probably. I don't know. I don't see any reason why we should all worry.
I don't either. I honestly see this game getting delayed, though. Just because it's already... I mean, I don't know if they're just waiting until they announce what the next Xbox console is to show it off or what, but, like, we've only seen a CG fucking trailer so far.
I could almost see the next Xbox getting delayed because of the game. You know what I mean? Like, no. I know that they're going to drop these at the same time.
They have to.
I mean? It's imperative for the launch to be successful, I feel like. They need a big title to go with it.
Which scares me, because if that is the case and they just rush this game out and it sucks, it's going to fuck up one, Halo.
I think
two,
they know it can't suck. They know that. And that's why they've been working on it since, like, whenever the fuck we originally talked about it, which I feel like was like a year and a half ago or so.
Oh, they've been working on it way before that. I think they've been working on it since Halo 5. Because remember, they created a whole new engine and all this shit for it.
So, I mean, like, they've been putting in the time. And, you know, we might not realize it just because it's, you know, time seems to go by so quickly, you know, but it's like...
Yeah, hopefully it is almost done and it's all good, you know, like, because this is going to make or break the beginning of an entire console generation, you know, like for Microsoft.
Speaking of Microsoft and things that are sketchy, Xbox's vice president Mike Ybarra is leaving the company after 20 years.
What?
Ybarra tweeted the news saying it is time for him to move on. It's been a great ride at Xbox and the future is bright, Ybarra said. He has yet to clarify what his next venture is, but Ybarra confirmed that the details will be revealed in the near future.
What the fuck is happening at these? Sony Layden left.
Right. Sean Layden
We
left.
still don't know why he left.
No. And then Ybarra left.
Ybarra left, and there's another dude, the head of Sony Interactive Entertainment left.
What if they're all coming together to make their own console?
No, I feel like I feel like the old or like the new guard is just like, we don't need you guys anymore. Like they're just like telling them like to fuck off or
what
something.
If these executives, they all know that like something's gonna come, like Stadia. What if they know something like Stadia is gonna blow them out of the water and they're like, fuck it, we're out of here, dude. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to get that retirement early, dude. Because like
go out while you're on top, you know?
Yeah, Sean Layden's like 60 maybe, you know, and so is the other guy that left Sony. They're not that old, you know?
Definitely not for the field they're in, you know?
No, it's freaking crazy, dude. It's not like...
It's sketchy.
I want to know what's happening. What does this mean for the future?
They're all going over to Atari Box, dude. They're gonna fucking...
Oh, God. Whatever happened to that? Remember how I told you that shit wouldn't happen?
It's still happening, I think. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't wait for Atari Box, bro.
What happened to that other one? There was another one that was supposed to come out.
Was there?
You remember where that guy had the competition to like name it and stuff, and he was like,
"Wasn't that the Atari Box?"
No, it was a different one. It was the Mad Box.
Oh, the Mad Box.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Okay. What was the?
Atari's called the Atari VCS now. They changed it.
Oh, Atari VCS. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I want to update on that. It's supposed to come March 20th, 2020.
Okay, that's not very far.
It says, although shipping was originally planned for 2019, it has been pushed back to next year, the official website says.
Quite frankly, that is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
You got next year where, like, the two biggest hitters in the fucking console industry are about to put out their...
Well, they're not going to put them out until the holidays.
Holiday season, but still, that's like, I mean, you know, they're going to put them out in time for the holidays, probably. So I'm thinking of October or so next year, you know. Probably 1 year from now, we'll be sitting there looking at our new consoles.
I guarantee it won't be there till November. It'll be end of November because they want everybody to hit the fucking stores. Yeah. You know, it'll be after Black Friday because they're not going to do any Black Friday
sales for sure.
Yeah. But this is pointless. Plus, people are going to be saving their money for that for the new consoles. They're not going to want fucking Atari VCS. This is going to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe if they had done it this year, they could have got a couple buyers. But dude.
Bad idea. Just bad idea in general.
Bad call in general.
They should have like mid-console like generation is when that should come out. When people are just have like extra money and they're like, oh, I just want something to add to the collection.
Totally.
Yeah,
man,
fucking sad. Anyways, was that you?
That was me, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so Doom Eternal has been delayed to March 2020. Oh, actually, wait, it comes out the day. Or no, wait, isn't that the day that the VCS comes out? Hold on.
Is it? I think so.
Yeah, the VCS is going to ship on the 20th of March 2020.
Oh shit.
So the same day, that's what they're waiting on.
Yeah,
they want to Doom.
They want to drop with Doom. Yeah.
Of course, dude. Okay. That's exactly what. Of course. No, I'm just kidding.
It actually kind of makes sense if you think about it. I mean,
no, it doesn't.
Why wouldn't you get your shiny new console
with Doom?
With Doom.
Your shiny new Atari. So Doom Eternal has been delayed to March 20th, 2020. The news comes via a Twitter post from id Software saying that the game needs more time in order to, quote, live up to our standards of speed and polish. The message also notes that a few other changes related to Eternal's release. Invasion mode, which allowed players to enter each other's games as a demon, will come separately as a free update, quote, shortly after launch. That doesn't sound good.
I'm honestly like not hyped about Doom Eternal. Like, I know a lot of people are, but it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, the first one was good.
It was okay, yeah.
It wasn't like, oh my god, it was very repetitive.
The graphics looked good, and it was nice and smushy, and like the combat was good, but like it was like it was kind of repetitive, yeah.
Yeah, the music was decent. In addition,
it was okay.
In addition, the Nintendo Switch port of the game is coming sometime after the other platforms, which is also another bad thing because it was originally going to come out the same day as the other platforms. And they haven't announced the date for the Switch one. They just said it's coming at some time after.
I've noticed that the Bethesda studios have been doing that with a lot of the Switch ports. Like Wolfenstein Youngblood came like months after the console version.
Yeah, nobody bought the original ones.
Yeah.
Finally, Doom 64 is coming to all platforms, not just Switch. It's also a pre-order bonus for Doom Eternal. So if you pre-order the game, you will get Doom 64.
Cool.
Which is its own game in its own right. So anyways, you can carry on the news from here. I'm out of news.
Okay. Developer IO Interactive and publisher Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment have announced that they are continuing their partnership and will work together on a brand new console and PC gaming experience. IOI CEO Hakim Abarak clarified that this project is a new universe. So it remains unclear if the developer is working on a new Hitman game. A second IOI studio opened its doors in Malmo earlier this year, and both are actively seeking high-quality talent for this new gaming experience. So they said a new universe. It could still be Hitman, I guess, just in a new universe, I guess. But, it might not be Hitman. Maybe we'll get some other kind of game. I don't know.
Hit woman.
I hope they retain that same style of like open-ended gameplay that the Hitman games has. You know what I mean? Because that's honestly that's what I like about the Hitman games more than anything is that you just get a goal and then you can achieve it however you want. I want more games like that.
Yeah, for sure. Set your mind to it and you can do it.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know. Let's see. Ubisoft is making a bunch of animated TV shows. They're going to be like
Pass.
No, I know, right? They're going to be like kid shows. They're going to be based on Rayman, Watch Dogs, and Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
I'm kind of okay with that because, whenever I was a kid, we had like the Donkey Kong Country animated series. We had the Super Mario Bros. Animated series. It's just like modernized versions of that. We even had Mega Man. We had fucking, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Cool. Whatever.
And I could see Watch Dogs translating into a kind of a cool like anime style show. You know what I mean?
Not a children's show though.
No, probably not. It'll be interesting.
Neither would Blood Dragon.
No. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they do. They said that the Rayman thing is obviously going to be more of a kid's thing. And then it says that the Far Cry 3 thing is going to be more like a young adult thing. And then then the Watch Dogs thing is like a tween thing. What I mean?
So they're hitting checking all the boxes.
They're hitting all age groups, yeah.
Okay.
So we got Google Stadia thing we talked about. Let's see. This is great. Following the news that Aquaman star Yahya Abdul-Mateen II will appear in the upcoming Matrix 4. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry, guys. Another high-profile actor has joined the cast. According to reports, Neil Patrick Harris will star alongside Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss in the sci-fi sequel.
Pass.
No, don't hate, bro.
Neil Patrick Harris is cool and all, but not in the Matrix.
Yeah,
don't put him in the Matrix.
The only I hate to say this, but I think he could be a good agent. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Or we could just
if you're just imagining Neil Patrick Harris as like one of the people in like the fucking place, you know what I mean? Like I can't see that.
Yeah.
But I can see him as like straightening his tie, Mr. Smith. I don't know. Maybe
his voice just doesn't work with it. Maybe if they like shave his head or they give him like a cool mohawk or something and they make him like Mouse's older brother or something.
Yeah.
Like he's back for revenge for
we'll
Mouse.
Have to see.
Yeah.
It's better than Jonah Hill in the new Batman movie. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but I can't imagine that.
He's going to be Batman, actually. He's Robin.
Okay, so Rockstar is launching Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC in November, and now the company has announced some of the extra content that's being added to the story mode. In addition to the improved graphics, there is a lot of new content coming to the PC version, which might be good news for PC players who had to wait a long time to play Rockstar's celebrated open-world western. The new content includes new bounty hunter missions, more gang hideouts, and new treasure maps. Rockstar is also adding more weapons, including the Evans Repeater and the High Roller Revolver that were previously only available in Red Dead Online. There are also more trinkets to collect that give players special bonuses like permanent increases for health bar refill speed and horse bonding experience. There's also a brand new mission, To the Ends of the Earth, that players can complete to earn a range of rewards. So there you go. Oh, and this isn't related, but iPhones have controller support now. So you can put your DualShock 4 or your Xbox controller hooked up to your iPhone and play Fortnite and shit. I was playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on my phone with my Xbox controller the other day. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, but
it was part of that new update they did recently.
Yeah, you used to be able to do that at one point.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. And then they made it to where you couldn't. I know that you've been able to do it on Android for this whole time.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, I know you've been able to do that, but that's weird that that's new.
It's a new thing, though, for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
cool.
That's what I got.
Sweet.
So there you go.
That's the news, guys. We're going to jump on over to this week's releases, where I'm going to let you know what brand new games are coming out in the next 7 days.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, we're going to start off with a game called Just Ignore Them, coming to Xbox One on October 16th for $3.99. Growing up, we all knew that one kid who was absolutely terrified of the dark and convinced that there were monsters hiding beneath his bed. But what if that were true? Just Ignore Them is a point-and-click adventure game that revolves around a boy named Mark, who is locked in a never-ending chase to escape the monsters that pursue him. Okay, speaking of which, I gotta jump back to Disney Plus real quick. Dude, So Weird is gonna be on there.
What? Really?
The entire and that one Don't Look Under the Bed is gonna be on there.
Dude,
oh yeah,
what?
dude. Yeah,
that was my shit.
All the good shit, dude. I'm gonna have to.
Do you remember Are You Afraid of the Dark?
That's also I think on there.
Did you know that they're rebooting it?
Dude, that's gonna be terrible. I just feel like it's gonna be really bad.
It probably is, but you know what? Don't crush my dreams, bro.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and crush them for you. But yeah, so excited for that. Anyways, Ping Redo or Redux is coming to Xbox One on October 16th. Couldn't find a price for this one. Ping Redo, 100 plus levels, including 12 bosses that are inspired by classic games to help keep the gameplay varied, with bombs, lava, moving hazards, and other sorts of blocks to get in your way. Do you think you can beat it? Oh, I can.
No.
You just give me a little bit of time and a little bit of imagination, and I can beat it to anything. Little Town Hero. No, just kidding. That's not possible. Little Town Hero.
Not kidding.
Yeah, that's true. Little Town Hero is coming to Switch on October 16th for $24.99. In an isolated village on the edge of the world, the only gate leading outside is heavily guarded by a castle, and the villagers are not allowed to leave. Most of the villagers don't give it a thought and happily go on with their everyday lives. However, you are a little different from the others. You want to see the world outside. One day, a monster appears in the village, shocking everyone because until then, no one knew such creatures existed. Luckily, you are the only one able to fight the monster thanks to a mysterious red stone you found in the coal mines. In the course of the defense of the village, you gradually unravel secrets of how the stones and the monsters came to be. Seek the adventure you crave and escape a humdrum village in Little Town Hero. The game's challenging battle system relies heavily on coming up with new ideas and strategies for every monster encounter. That's the one from the Pokemon Game Freak, guys.
Oh, cool. Cool.
And it's not even priced at like a full price game. It's $24.99 Switch. Anyways.
But is it good?
It remains to be seen. And then we have Soul coming to Xbox One on October 16th. Couldn't find a price for this one, but Soul is a surreal adventure game where you play as the only source of light in a world shrouded in darkness. Wander through uninhabited environments, painting the land with light as you uncover its mysterious past. Explore the remnants of great cities and discover the history of an ancient civilization on your journey to restore life to an abandoned world. And then we got Demon Pit coming to Switch, Xbox One, PS4, and PC on October 17th. Couldn't find a price for this one. Arise, Demon Hunter. It is time. The years you spent slaughtering demonkind in the mortal world did little to cleanse your soul. Okay. Your sins have been laid bare, and you have been judged. You are damned for eternity. The pits await. Inspired by the fast-paced FPS games of the 1990s, Demon Pit is an intense arcade-style arena shooter. Armed with a series of ranged weapons and the soul grapple, you must fight and outmaneuver endless waves of demons in a constantly changing environment. How long can you survive before they rip your flesh and claim your soul? Then we got Stella coming to Xbox One and PC on October 17th. Couldn't find a price, but Stella is a cinematic platformer about a young woman witnessing the final days of a mysterious ancient world. And then we got Monkey King Hero is Back coming to PS4 and PC on October 17th for $39.99.
Wait, is this that VR game that was that's so bad? There was originally a game called Monkey King that was a VR game that was just horrible. Everybody fucking hated it.
I don't know. It says, based on the hit 2015 animated movie Monkey King Hero is Back, the game is a monster-slaying adventure where players experience the story of the movie as well as unique levels and enemies. The game depicts...
Definitely different. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. The game depicts the journey shared by three main characters, Monkey King, Pigsy, and the child character, Liu Jiang. These figures fight many different monsters using varied skills and magic alongside their cooperation and shared individual wisdom. And then we got Battle Planet Judgment Day coming to Switch, PS4, and PC on October 17th for $14.99. In the roguelike top-down shooter Battle Planet Judgment Day, discover an entire galaxy of randomly generated new planets with different surfaces and conditions. Be sure to use the mini upgrades that keep you on your way, because you have only one goal: survival. Whoa! Rad! And then we got Felix the Reaper coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and Mac on October 17th for $24.99. Felix the Reaper, a romantic comedy game about the life of death, is a 3D shadow manipulation puzzle adventure about making people die.
I think that game's coming to Game Pass on its release. I could be wrong.
It is, yeah. And then we got Stranded Sails Explorers of the Cursed Islands coming to Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC on October 17th for $24.99. Stranded Sails Explorers of the Cursed Islands is an open-world farming adventure full of discoveries, quests, and puzzles. Along with your crew, you are shipwrecked on a mysterious archipelago. Now it's up to you to secure.
He just gave up.
Archipelago?
I have no idea.
It sounds like I should know it.
Archipelago?
It's literally archipelago. Now it's up to you to secure your survival and solve the mysteries deep in the heart of the islands, and finally escape.
I can't tell if you're doing like an Irishman or
it's
like
a mix
pirate.
Between it's an Irish pirate.
Oh, okay.
It's a Pirish.
Yarr.
Yarr. From finding resources and planting crops to establishing your own farm. I can't do it. Now I'm losing it. We got fuck it. Anyways, the Jackbox Party Pack 6. It's coming to everything. Literally, your phones, the fucking computer, your consoles. October 17th for $29.99. The party is back on with the Jackbox Party Pack 6. Jackbox Games is jamming its party pack with a variety of games, including Trivia Murder Party 2, Dictionarium, Dictionarium, Joke Boat, and Push the Button, and Role Models.
I'm pretty sure this is like the successor to those You Don't Know Jack games from back in the day. You remember those?
Yeah, but it's from the Jack Pack Party. There's been like Jack Pack Party like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
I haven't fucked with the Jack Pack Party Packs.
Yeah, dude, you gotta get them.
Are they good?
I don't know. And then we got Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, coming to PS4 and PC on October 17th for $39.99. This is a game that came to Switch, or was it to Wii U? I can't remember if it
I think it was on Switch for sure.
Yeah, it was like it was a Nintendo exclusive for a while, but now it's on everything. Otaku Assassin enters the game world. Travis Touchdown wanders into the game world and embarks on a rampage of epic proportions in this unusual entry into the No More Heroes franchise. With beam katana in hand, Travis vows to exterminate every last bug he finds in the game world. Yeah, this game got like really bad reviews. Anyways, then we got Autonauts coming to PC on October 17th. Couldn't find a price, but fresh from your spaceship, you must harvest stick and stone, begin your colonization efforts, creates rudimentary crafting items from blueprints, and build dozens and dozens of different worker bots to make your new planet a fully functioning home. Okay. Then we got Sea Salt. Coming to Xbox One and PC on October 17th for $14.99. Sea Salt is an action strategy hybrid in which you are an old god summoning unfathomable horrors.
Get ready to get iodine. We're doing it.
Sea Salt, it's great on chips. And then, so yeah, the human lands. You will have your sacrifice, and humanity will pay for denying you what you are owed. Summoning a tide of minions, your army will emerge from the sea to take vengeance on the religious figures who have dared to defy you, and anyone else that stands in your way. Okay. And then we got The Fisherman. Fishing Planet is coming to Xbox One and PS4 on October 17th for $39.99. The Fisherman Fishing Planet is for all nature and sport fishing fans. So all one of you. No, I'm just kidding. The premium version of Fishing Planet, which sets the standard for fishing simulators, combines all the content released to date in one package, the equivalent of more than 30 DLCs, as well as features exclusive to this premium version of the game. Fishing Planet faithfully adapts all the fine details of the art of fishing to gaming screens. Players can try out several types of fishing and attempt to catch over 100 species of fish, whose artificial intelligence is based on the real behavior of each species. There are also 18 different fishing areas in the premium version, featuring lake and river environments with varied terrain and vegetation.
My problem is with like fishing games is like there's too many games that have like really good fishing mini games. You know what I mean? For me to justify buying an entire like fishing game. Like you could get Red Dead Redemption and like go fish all day if you want in that game, and then if you wanted to, you could go like hunt a bear or something. Also, like there's just like so much more in other games.
Yeah, but this is if you want to take a deep dive into fishing. If you want to become like a master fisher, this is a simulator. This isn't just like here's a little mini game. This is like,
dude,
wow,
some of those, like,
that bass
surprisingly deep,
is
though.
Moving like a real bass would.
I guess so.
The haptic, feedback that I'm getting from this sea bass.
See, the only time I could see that being cool is like, okay, maybe if it's like a VR game or something, and then like I could see that being, okay, imagine a VR game where like you're in a boat the whole time, like a canoe. And, like, the way you move around is, like, you, like, take the oar and you, like, paddle through the canoe, or paddle with the canoe, and then you, like, go to different places to fish. I think that would be kind of cool.
Check this. Okay, fishing is expensive. Say you're a guy like
not really.
It is if you want to do the type of fishing. I feel like this game is talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
I guess if you want to go like
you want to go out on a boat
fishing,
and just go fucking fishing, like on the lake. Maybe you don't have time to do that stuff. Maybe you're married, but your passion is fishing, and you just want to get that feel of having the reel in your hand, fucking that rod, just fucking just stroking it. No, but anyways,
I feel that. I guess I kind of do like those hunting games,
Yeah, the Cabela's, good time.
I can see it.
And then we got Kine or Kinney or something. It's Kine coming to Switch, Xbox One, PC, and Stadia on October 17th for $19.99. Kine is a 3D puzzle game about three whimsical machines that aspire to be musicians. Embark across a theatrically rendered cityscape by solving increasingly difficult 3D puzzles. Okay. And then we got Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville coming to Xbox One, PS4, and PC on October 18th for $39.99. Welcome to Neighborville, where all is well, except that a crazy new coniferous conflict between brainless and botanicals is brewing. What are you going to do? Call the crops? Soil your plants? Prepare to kick some grass as a founding neighbor in the off-the-vein conflict of Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, featuring over-the-top action for fans of the PvZ Garden Warfare shooter titles have come to know and love. Players can jump down into Giddy Park for light multiplayer battles or use the social board to interact with other players and group up. Players will unravel the threats of three free roam regions, including the familiar central locations of Neighborville Town Center, as well as adventuring through the outer edges of Neighborville and the hot and dusty Mount Steep. Okay, all right, I get it. Okay, it's a fucking game. And then we got Pig Eat Ball coming to PS4 and Xbox One and Switch, PC, and Mac on October 18th for $14.99. In the puzzle-ish party game Pig Eat Ball, players battle each other to be the one to help Bow win back her freedom. Your father, King Cake, decreed whomever can win this contest can marry his daughter, Bo. Take back your fate by winning the contest yourself. Flit about your father's floating tennis court space station, sucking up the most balls to win. I don't know
what the fuck
what that meant, but I'm just gonna assume that it's okay for children to play. Anyways, yeah, so that's it. That's this week's releases, guys.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, that was whack.
I would rather eat a fucking clothes hanger than fucking play those games.
Yeah, dude, me too. I'd rather, yeah, definitely. I think I could eat a clothes hanger.
Yeah,
I think I could do that.
I could do it.
Yeah.
If I had to.
As long as I don't have to play those games. But anyways, yeah, so let's jump on over to currently playing. Brent, what are you currently playing, dog?
Shit. I'm playing... Well, okay, so check it out.
Okay.
I have been playing Call of Duty Mobile still.
Mm.
They added Gun Game in there, which is a lot of fun.
I played some more of the Call of Duty Mobile. I kicked some fucking ass, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you, doesn't it feel good?
Everyone sucks, dude.
Bro, I think a lot of people are just really bad at the touchscreen controls or something. You feel like a god.
But why am I so good at them? That's what I want to know. Why is it that the other people can't get it, but I can?
Well, I have another theory. Are you using the simplified controls?
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm just fucking people up, dude.
See, I am using the simplified controls, and my theory was people are just bad. Then I'm thinking maybe there's bots, but
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's bots, dude, because I got MVP. I was like fucking everybody.
But I also
up.
get murked all the time, too. You know what I mean? But then again, it could just be decent bots. But then again, I've also searched for, most of the time you can find out if it's bots. Like with PUBG, everybody was immediately just oh, bots.
It's bots,
Yeah. And nobody said anything about Call of Duty yet.
Really? You Googled it already?
Yeah, I looked it up.
I
tried to find something about it. I couldn't find any news about it or anything. And I've played with real people, for sure. I hear people talking on the thing all the time.
Oh,
while we're
really?
playing. Yeah. Have you ever
I had it
to anybody?
muted.
Oh, okay. Well, people are constantly a lot of foreign people you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're what they're actually saying is, I'm a bot.
Right? But I've been playing a lot of that, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. I mean, that's just one of my go-to things when I'm just sitting there bored. And then I finally got the kahunas together, and I went back into Exorcist Legion VR. I hadn't played Chapter 4 and 5 yet, so I went into Chapter 4, and I finally just, summoned the courage and powered through it. It's pretty fucking scary, dog. That game is just scary as hell. Every level puts you in a different, weird, scary situation, The first level, you're in, a church. The second level, you're in, a insane asylum, or, someplace with, padded walls and fucking, the locking doors or whatever. And then the third level, you're in, this room with a freaky little baby. And then the one I just played, you're at this, place where you can tell there's some kind of, infectious disease that went down or something, some kind of zombie apocalypse or some shit went down. And you're, in this, contamination tent or whatever. You know what I mean? And then you go underground and you find all these dead bodies and they're floating around and there's demons. It's so fucking scary, dude. It was just scary as fuck.
Floating bodies? Are you in water?
No, dude. They get up. Okay, it's just scary, dude. You find all this shit and then the bodies start There's one part where there's all these freaky dead bodies and they're literally just in the air, hovering around you, floating, and you're no matter where you turn, they're just looking at you. Fucking, I don't know. It's scary as hell, dude.
Nice.
But
that.
It was very satisfying. It wasn't as good as the previous 3 chapters. I think the 4th one is probably the weakest one I've played so far, but it's still really good. You know what I mean? I'm excited to see what Chapter 5 is. It's called The Tomb, so I have no idea what the fuck. I don't know. It sounds terrifying.
Yeah, that sounds creepy.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you an update on that whenever I get around to it. And then I went over to Matt's the other day. Then we got on Grand Theft Auto 5 online, just for fun. And we went to the little casino they added into the game. And it's actually really cool how they have it set up. Like, they've done so much cool stuff for Grand Theft Auto. Like, I don't know, every time I get on there, like, I don't play it very much, but every time I get on the online, on Grand Theft Auto Online, it's just like, just leaps and bounds. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And we won a bunch of money in the casino, and, like, you know, it was a lot of fun. And then I was bored the other day, and I had a little bit of, like, store credit for Game Exchange, you know?
Okay.
So I went to Game Exchange, and I started looking through, like, the original Xbox games, you know? And I found a fucking throwback, and I got it. You remember Breakdown?
Which one is that? Yeah, wait, yeah, that's the one with the first person, like you can kick people and shit. Yeah, okay, I remember that. I got
Breakdown.
How was it?
Well, okay, I was a little afraid because when I was getting it, I was like going to check out, and like the lady behind the counter was like, "Breakdown," and I was like, "Yeah, dog, Breakdown." She's like, "I'm like, what is it? Is it like?" I mean,
it's like only posers play Breakdown.
I was like, I used to love this game when I was a kid. And she's like, yeah, I don't know if it stands the test of time, you know? And I was
most original Xbox games don't.
So, like, my expectations immediately went all the way down, you know? Because I remember liking this game as a kid, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, I got home, I popped it in, and it's just as cool as I remember it being, you know? I could see why a lot of people didn't like the game. Like,
it's kind of repetitive.
Well, it's not even that it's repetitive. Like, some of the textures are a little repetitive, but like the actual gameplay itself is pretty good, and like the story is good, and the cutscenes are good for what they were.
Wasn't that game made by the same people that made Time Splitters?
I think so. But what really made it like hard for a lot of people to grasp was the control scheme. You know, you didn't like aim with any button particularly. You just pushed X and it like locked on to people.
Oh, that's why.
So like when you're shooting, it's like a little different, you know. But like most of the combat is like hand-to-hand combat anyway, so it worked better when you're doing hand-to-hand, you know what I mean?
Is it like ragdoll physics?
It had like good physics for the time. It wasn't, I wouldn't say ragdoll by any means, but like, well, I guess so, because you could like punch the dudes and they would like fly across the fucking room and shit, you know what I mean? But, like, they weren't, like, flipping over tables and shit. Like, you know, I don't know. It was really cool, though. I don't know. After having that lady at the game store make me think it was going to be, like, shitty, I was really pleasantly surprised.
Did you beat it?
No, I'm, like, halfway through it right now. But, like, I gotta say, it looks really good for, like, an original Xbox game. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost, like, 360 quality with the graphics. Like, it's really good.
Nice. Is the story any good?
The story's okay. It's a little, like... It's one of those. It reminds me. Have you ever seen Hardcore Henry?
No, but I know what it is. Yes,
the story reminds me a lot of Hardcore Henry.
It's just like wake up action movie.
Yeah,
begin.
Exactly. You know.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. Anyways, and yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Okay, cool.
How about you?
So I downloaded Ukulele on.
Oh, I downloaded that too. I haven't played it yet, but
it's like so far it's like it feels like Banjo-Kazooie. Like literally, it just feels like the same game, just a little bit prettier.
Is it enjoyable?
Yeah, I guess if that's what you're looking for. But I just like beat Spyro not too long ago, so like the whole collectathon thing, I'm not really in the mood for it. And I know this was like probably a year ago now, but I'm still reeling from it. Was like beating the Mario Odyssey 100%. So like I'm just not in the mood for like another
platformer.
Yeah, like a platformer where like the whole goal is to just collect shit. And there's so much shit to collect. Like instantly I'm like, okay, all right, this is overwhelming. But yeah, I played that for like a good hour or two.
Dude, that's kind of how I felt about. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt
what's
you,
that?
But like with that Ni no Kuni game, like I really enjoy it, but like I've kind of not been playing it as much because like after Fire Emblem, like there's only so much like JRPG walk around, level up kind of thing. You know, it's like I need to switch gears for a little bit and then come back to that. You know what I mean?
Faux show. Yeah, so I played a little bit of that. And then I saw that Destiny 2 is free now with that like Destiny 2 Lite or whatever. So I started installing that, but that took 2 days to install.
I was about to say I was trying to install that too earlier, but like I had Fortnite going on like 3 consoles, like downloading shit, and it was like my whole internet was just like done. It was
it's like 94 gigs.
Jesus Christ!
And like and so it took 2 days. So in the meantime, I downloaded Hollow Knight and started playing that, and I'm like, a good like.
I've got that on my Switch.
It's good, dude.
It's pretty good, yeah.
I like it on the big screen. If I like,
is that what you got it on Switch?
No, I got it on Xbox One.
Oh, okay.
It's on Game Pass.
Oh,
the
okay,
full
cool.
like all the DLC or whatever.
I just have the normal one on Switch.
So it's good. Like I'm actually really into it. Like I really like it. It's kind of weird.
It got a lot of like critical acclaim, and I could see why you would like it, especially since you were so into like Dead Cells. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't get the Dead Cells feeling from it. I get more of like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like it's what I imagined. Like how like if you did an open world 2D game, this is like what it would be. Like if you were to make a side scroller into an open world game, this is it. You know, like you go down and like it's got very Metroid like situations, but it doesn't tell you where to go. Like there's no point in this game where it's just like, oh, you should go here. Like you drop down into this like underground world. You know, you're like a bug and all the enemies are bugs and shit, and like. But like you run into random characters under there that are like, oh well, if you go back up or like since you did this, my wife will be back up at the shop selling shit, and so like now I'm just like buying stuff to you know get stronger, and then like I save this guy, I like beat the first boss, which I just happened to run into. Now like I've upgraded my map to where I can see myself, you know, I got more charms and all this stuff. Like it's really fun. There's a lot to unlock, and it feels like every time you unlock something you feel like you've progressed a little bit further and stuff, you know?
That was the first game I ever got for my Switch.
Have you beat it?
No, I played like a quarter of it or so.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get too far into it just because I got distracted by other stuff, you know?
Yeah, it was definitely fun playing that like while I was waiting for Destiny 2 to download, and then Destiny 2 downloaded and I jumped into that for a little bit. I'm actually
enjoying it, or
well, from what I've played so far, really all I did was get to the tower, which is like the main hub or whatever, and then I went into like I went to Earth and like, you know, I was like shooting shit, and then I was like, okay, because it didn't fully download till it was like super late and I had to go to bed, so I like went back to the tower, exited out. Aaron is downloading it, and so
the base game is free right now.
Yeah, it's the base game, so like fucking like a shit ton of content is free.
Oh, it's good to see Aaron's making use of that. I gave him my old Xbox when I got that new one.
So, oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So it also has crossplay, but I think you have to have the paid version for the crossplay. I'm not sure on that, but I know that if you want the full version, it's only like $35. You know, like to get like everything, but yeah, so it's a pretty cool deal. So, like you can download it for free on any console or PC, and just start playing. And so Aaron's downloading it tonight.
I'll download it tonight too. Yeah. I just have to let all my other fucking shit get done downloading.
Yeah, you should download it, and then tomorrow me and Aaron should play.
Link up. You know, I know those raids are a lot more fun when you have people, like a bunch of people to do them with, you know?
Yeah, that's what I hear. The raids are really cool because they're like basically puzzles with like a bunch of moving parts and stuff, and like you one person takes care of this and like the other does this and that.
Yeah, I've done a few in the original game.
Destiny
1.
Cool.
I used to play a lot of Destiny 1. Well, I didn't used to play a lot of it, but I've had my share of Destiny 1 experiences, and like some of the times you get bosses, like you know how like in a Dark Souls fight your boss has like attack patterns and stuff. You have to like get the boss to like focus on one guy, and then one guy goes around to the weak side, or you'll have a boss that'll do a specific thing, and you know if you just do teamwork, like you can beat them if you're all just willy-nilly, but if you do coordinate your attack and use teamwork, you can like
make it easier. And then like I'm just in the mood for something like this at the moment. You know, I wanted something that I could have ongoing in the background for a while, like I can just go back and play it.
You know what I forgot that I played a little bit of this week?
What's that?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
you. No,
you're
good.
This multiplayer talk reminded me of it. I downloaded World War Z and played a little bit of that too.
I didn't download that because I was like, I heard that game sucked.
It's not. It doesn't.
It's actually good.
It's not great, but it doesn't suck. You know what I mean? It's like Left 4 Dead, basically.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's almost exactly like Left 4 Dead. Like it's 4-player co-op, and you get put in these like scenarios where it's like, you know,
get to the chopper.
You get to the chopper basically, and zombies are everywhere, and it's like 4-player co-op. I mean, it's basically Left 4 Dead in third person. Like, it's a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm excited to play some Destiny 2 with y'all though. So
heck yeah,
get that downloaded. But anyways, yeah, and that's it for currently playing. Let us know what you've been currently playing in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak podcast. And please, guys, share this episode whenever you're listening to it with your friends and tell them what you love about it. Tell them why they should listen to GameSpeak podcast. It'll really help us in the algorithm on Apple Podcasts and stuff like that if you leave us a review. Anyways, we're going to jump on over to not currently playing, but topic of the show, the meat and potatoes of the show. And the topic of today's show is our top 5 horror films that should be video games. And basically the way we're going to do this is we picked like some horror films that we thought would be cool as video games, and we give our take on how it would translate to a video game.
Yeah.
We're not just going to leave it up to your imagination.
Yeah, we're basically telling you the game we want.
Yeah, today we're game developers. Yeah. We're designing a game. Okay, so do you want to start? You want me to start? How do you want to do this?
It doesn't matter. I can kick it off if you like.
Okay, and mine's not in any particular order.
No, me either.
Yeah.
These aren't like
it's just our 5.
Top. Yeah, this is just like some of the ones I think would be cool.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you start us.
Okay, so my first one, I think 28 Days Later would be a really good video game. There's lots of zombie games out there, but I want this one to be like, okay, so you got 28 Days Later, right? The movie.
Yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
you have 28 Weeks Later, like the movie, right?
Yep.
So I want my video game to be 28 months later.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's the trilogy.
Yes, the trilogy. So this is a direct sequel to 28 Weeks Later. All of humanity is dead. Okay, this is like 2.5 years after the events of 28 Weeks Later. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All of humanity's fucking dead.
Is this single player focused or multiplayer?
This is single player focused.
Okay.
This is going to be like exclusively single player.
It's like the Blair Witch type situation where they.
No, this is going to be like imagine The Last of Us, right?
Oh, okay.
Only actually The Last of Us, not just like you meet people the whole game and like you want this like I want this like alone feeling the whole game, like he is. It's
like The Road.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, it's basically this guy, and he goes and, like, he lives in a treehouse, and that's how he survived these years, He's got shitloads of canned food stocked up in his treehouse, but one day he runs out of canned food, and he's like, fuck, I need to go find a new
That's
tree.
why he leaves.
Yeah, exactly. He's a survivor.
Oh, shit, after 28 months, I ran out of my last Chef Boyardee.
Exactly. So he's out of Chef Boyardee, and he, like, is on the road, and he, like, meets a dog. And I want this whole game to be about the relationship between this guy and his dog, and, like...
The boy and his dog.
And, like, I want there to be, like, gunfights and, like, stealth action.
You should be able to name the dog.
Yeah, you should be able to name the dog. That would be sick.
Dogson.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
You can even pick what kind of dog you meet. Like, and then, like, I want the dog to be focused in the combat. So, like, if you pick a big dog, maybe, like, your dog, like, helps with fighting. Or if you pick, like, a little dog, your dog, like, tracks scents or something. You know what I mean?
What if there's, like, a little, like a little quiz thing at the beginning of the game, like a little personality test, like whenever you're filling out your profile.
Ooh,
and it gives you a dog based on, like, your personality.
Yes, dude. I like that.
That'd be tight.
Like that.
How would it be scary? Not sure, but
it would be scary because there would be those fucking terrifying fast ass zombies from the 28 Days Later. And you know what I mean?
You should be able to play
they'd be super
in
fast.
Finality mode, where if your dog dies, it's gone for the rest of the game.
Yes, like, dude. Or no, like if your dog dies, I think if your dog dies, it's game over, dude.
No, I'm saying if you play in finality mode, where it doesn't just restart like at the last checkpoint. It's just like your dog is dead, and then you have to play the rest of the game alone.
See, in the game I'm imagining, if your dog dies, your character just puts his gun in his mouth and just fucking ends it.
Just ends it all. God. Okay. Good one. Okay.
Yeah,
number 5 for me is my simplest one that I came up with, which is House of Wax.
I thought about that, but I didn't. I was thinking, like, how would I make this into a game?
So this would be more of an Outlast like first-person survival game. You learn the dark truths of the local House of Wax after having car trouble driving through an old-timey town that seems really empty. So it's just the movie, but like you're by yourself. Like I feel like you should like stop and you're like stopping. You ask for help, and like you have to stay overnight, just like in the movie. But like
that could be spooky.
Yeah, it could.
Maybe in the last like 30 minutes of the game, you just get a flamethrower and you're like melting all the fucking wax figures and
oh
shit.
yeah, dude,
like,
you got to find a way, you know, like, and I think like just being in a house of wax would be terrifying.
I think you could do a lot of cool things with like wax physics too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like,
having a melt around you. Maybe this would be a
maybe
good
you
VR
have like
game.
a lighter and like a spray can or something, and like you just and like they're still coming at you, but their faces all getting like distorted and shit, and like, you know.
Oh yeah, dude. And you just see their like corpsey like underneath. Okay. Anyway,
that's pretty creepy. I like that.
Yeah, my other ones are more creative. That one was just like one that I was like, okay, this would be a perfect game by itself. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my next one is kind of an Outlast-y kind of theme too, and it does have to do with car troubles also. But this is going to be The Hills Have Eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
So in my game, you're going to play as a little girl on a road trip with her family, right? And then your fucking RV breaks down in the middle of like Hills Have Eyes territory, right?
Yeah.
And so the whole game will be like a first person stealth game from the perspective of this little girl. You know? So all the monsters and everything around you just feels like big and overwhelming.
Scurry.
And you don't really have any way to defend yourself or anything. You see your whole family get killed in front of you and shit, and you're like hiding in like, you know, lockers and like in the grass and stuff, you know?
Nice. I like it. Yeah, I know this is a little off topic, but I wonder if anybody's ever thought to make the porno The Hills Have Thighs.
Probably not, dude.
That should be made. But anyways, so number 4 for me is The Collector. So this one is going to be an asymmetrical heist game. So one person plays the collector and sets traps throughout the house while the others must break in and escape with the loot.
Oh,
so,
I like that.
Yeah.
That's fun. I can see that being cool.
Yeah, it'd be
like Rainbow Six Siege mixed with Dead by Daylight, kind of.
Exactly. So like in the movie, the guy's breaking in because like he's got to get some money to like pay for his wife's like surgery or whatever.
Right. It's a good movie, by the way.
It was really good. The sequel was horrible, but
yeah.
the collector was great. So like, I think like that's like the whole goal. So like it could be just like 2 people are trying to get in, and then like the asymmetrical part, you get like a certain amount of time to set up traps.
I think
and stuff.
4 would be more. It could be a 4v1 like all the other.
Yeah, the other asymmetrical
I feel like
stuff.
that formula works pretty well.
It's going to be a pretty big house with like different goals. It's like you have to get in and escape with like a certain amount of things.
Or like the loot is always in a different treasure, kind of like Rainbow Six.
Yeah,
or
definitely.
not a different treasure. The loot is always in a different room. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So like you have to like figure out
Locate
what room
it.
is in. You know. That's part of the goal, you know? Like,
yeah, and you got to make your way around all the traps, and, like, you know, you can also, as the collector, just walk out and fucking murder somebody, you know?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
There's just multiple ways that...
Well, I think a lot of the traps would just be, like a bear trap or something that keeps you in place until the collector comes over and, like, rips your fucking
collects
dome off.
you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I thought that was a pretty good one. It could be terrifying.
I like that. I like that a lot.
It's got to be really gory, though.
Definitely. Yeah, I like that. Man, that could go really good. Okay, so number 3 for me is an interesting one, I think. I want to do, like, Us. You know that movie Us? Where, like, the family comes and it's the same family. But I want to do it, like, a way out. I got 5. I want to do it like a way out, though. Where you have to have a fucking co-op partner. And it's like an online game, right? Hence Us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the game, you do like a create a character thing, right? Or you make all your facial features and stuff. And then like halfway through the game, like a evil version of your like created character comes out and like attacks you. You know what I mean? So it's like, basically I just want a scary A Way Out.
But what's the co-op part of it?
Like, have you ever played A Way Out?
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
No, but I'm saying like, so both of you create your characters,
yeah.
and then you have to fight your evil twin characters. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe like your friend's character will attack you, and your character.
Oh, okay.
And you'll have like moments where like you're pointing the gun at like both of your friends or whatever, and you have to pick the right one by like them answering questions or something. You know what I mean? Like,
that'd be so like that's such deep mechanics.
You know, I mean, just something like that.
Yeah,
you can get creative
you.
With like the ideas there. I think you could make a really fun horror game like working with somebody. You know what I mean?
For sure. I like that. That's a good one. Number 3 for me is A Quiet Place. So it's going to be a stealth game with intricate level design similar to Portal and Metal Gear. If you make a single mistake, the creature jumps out and eats you. So like it's basically like, okay, you have to like make it to, okay, so you need supplies. You got to like make it to.
So like an ideal playthrough of this game would just be one guy like walking quietly through the whole game and nothing ever happening.
Well,
like...
that would be the ideal. Like, but there's going to always be scenarios where like you see the creature like walking or like, and you have to like, there's certain like, it's almost like a platformer in a way, like, so you have to make sure you stay on sand,
the right material,
the right
whatever,
materials, and like if you do a certain roll like and accidentally go over some leaves or something, you're fucked, you know. Like,
I could see like a really intense moment where you have to like just jump over a pile of leaves or something, you know what I mean? Like
just to get to the barn and like I think there's ways that could be good. It's probably not like a full like price game. I would see this being more like a $24.99 like puzzler.
This is one of those games you would really want some like Turtle Beaches or something, so you get that like 3D audio effect.
It's just like complete silence except for with the creatures.
You have
and
to
stuff.
have like impeccable audio design for this game to work well. You know what I mean? Like that would be the key thing to making this like a really good game. Would be like, you know,
for sure, absolutely. I think it'd be fun though. Anyways, what you got?
So my number 2 is When a Stranger Calls. But I want this to be a VR horror walking simulator, okay?
Is this the one where we went and saw this in theaters? Is this the chick, she's like at the house and a stranger calls?
Yes.
I remember we saw this in theaters.
This is actually is based on an older movie of the same name.
Yeah.
But the more modern one is where she's in the house with the glass
and he like pulls her hair out.
Like
when her like remember she's like he like grabs her hair and then like she like has to like rip her hair out to like get away from her. I don't really
remember that part. I just remember the stranger calling.
Okay.
But I feel like it would be scary as hell. It's like, okay, imagine the game starts up, right?
Okay.
And you're like, you're in VR. Everything's like beautifully rendered in 3D. You're in a nice house, you know what I mean? And like you're watching TV, and then all of a sudden the phone rings next to you, right? And like you pick it up and you expect it to be like the killer or whatever, and then it's like, you know, like Cindy from school, and she's like, how's the babysitting job, you know? And like you go on this whole thing, and like eventually the stranger does call and everything gets scary, and you can like walk around the house in VR. I just think it would be really cool. I think there's a lot of potential there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could be cool. That could be terrifying.
That's what I'm
saying. And you gotta like watch all the windows just to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. That's freaky. Number 2 for me is The Ring. So Samara has infected video games and a new ROM.
I like that.
And a new ROM being passed around on internet forums. You find a link to the supposed cursed game. You play the game and begin experiencing the haunting, receiving a group chat text that just says 7 days. It's just a narrative-driven story game. So like I think this one basically like you're in like TeamSpeak or something with your friends. This would be a good VR game.
This would be a great VR game.
Yeah, you're just on the computer. You actually like play the game for a second, and it's like a cursed game, and then
like you're actually like playing it in VR.
Yeah, like at the computer, and then
that would be scary as fuck.
And then it pops up in the window, like you're like talking to your friends, like in the game. You're like talking to your friends, you know, in the TeamSpeak or like a little group chat thing, and it pops up 7 days, and everyone's like, who's that? Like it just says anonymous, you know, like, and you're like, I don't know. It's like, y'all quit fucking with me.
They don't do a lot of good like story driven stuff like that in VR. That would be really fucking tight in VR.
It would be. Like, you start seeing shit like crawling in your house.
You do the thing, you know how in The Ring where she like pulls the thing out of her mouth? Imagine that in VR, dude. Just you see it coming out of like where your mouth should be. Like, oh, that would be freaky, dude.
And see, my thing about this game is that whenever I say it's narrative driven story game, I say you live out the next 7 days in your house being haunted.
Yeah, it's like and then day 1, and then it like goes through your day, and day 2, you know?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you need to go to work or whatever, so like you go outside. It's obviously like linear, but at the same time you can walk around and like read stuff and do things. And so like you go to your job or whatever, and like obviously a day is not going to last a full 24 hours, but like, you know, it'll just be a condensed like day.
Yeah, you could even do like, it could be a short game. You could do like 30-minute days or whatever, and like every day could be fucking terrifying,
a different type of haunting, and it just gets worse worse and
but
worse.
also your character could be like, you know, like all the other Ring movies, like progressively trying to figure out like a solution to the game, you know. And
yeah, but there is none.
well,
I don't think there should be a solution.
There is in the fucking movies, you know, like you have to like copy the ROM or whatever, you know. Like how that's how it was in the original Ring, right? You had to like make a copy of the videotape and spread it to somebody, and then that wouldn't get you.
Yeah, it's kind of like It Follows.
Yeah,
you just gotta have sex with someone. But like,
I thought about that for a minute.
I thought about It Follows too, but
that would be an interesting one.
I don't like how high It Follows is on like every horror movie list. It's not that good.
It's okay.
It's like the most generic, like thought up thing ever. It's like it's literally The Ring, but with sex. And they're like, this is terrifying. I'm like, okay. Anyways, but my thing.
The Ring was better, I feel like.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I
It's
feel
creepier.
like The Ring is like a horror classic, dude.
It is.
You know?
And it was made by Gore Verbinski, which I didn't realize that. He's the guy who like, I can't remember what he did now that I'm thinking about it, but he did like something super recent. Like,
was it good?
Yeah, he's like a big, anyways, here, you do the next thing I'm going to look into.
Okay, so
Gore.
my next one, is going to be The Purge. But I want to do The Purge like Grand Theft Auto. You know what I mean? Where you're in this big sandbox city, you know, and everything's just popping off, you know? And you have to like survive 24 hours or 12 hours or whatever, basically. It's just like a survival game.
He did the Pirates movies.
Oh, okay.
All the Pirates of the Caribbean movies and Rango. Anyways, continue.
Oh, I was just saying, I think it'd be cool to do The Purge like Grand Theft Auto style. Or like Dead Rising style. Where you're like walking around and you can use basically anything as a weapon, you know what I mean? But you just have to survive for X amount of hours, you know what I mean, until like the sun comes up.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I think that would be a really cool game. You have like your safe house and you're like going around trying to save people from the Purge or like, you know.
Yeah, maybe since Dead Rising is kind of dying, they could like just take on the Purge as a license and like make that.
Wouldn't that be tight? Like that exact same style of gameplay, you wouldn't even have to do very much. Like they already have the cars and the mechanics and everything. Just put a fucking Purge coat of paint on it. Replace the zombies with like crazy people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the crazies.
That could be tight, dude.
That was your number one?
That was my number one.
Okay, so my number one, this one I'm the most proud of. I think it's pretty funny. This is going to be based on like Hereditary or like Rosemary's Baby type game. So in a very Hitman-esque fashion, you play as a cult member trying to make all of the events fall into place to have the protagonist fall into the cult's satanic trappings.
Yes, dude.
So like, you know how...
you like playing matchmaker, trying to get her to like have sex with the guy so she'll like get pregnated by the fucking like
you gotta go
or whatever.
Yeah, you gotta go and like plant the seed, like plant the idea that she needs to meet this guy and like all this stuff. So like you're like sneaking into her house and like putting like notes around and like...
See, this would be a great like Hitman style game because there would be like a million, like your objective could be like make her do this, and then there's like a million ways you could go about doing it
without getting caught. Yeah,
get her pregnant. Like you could seduce her or like hook her up with somebody or like
it doesn't even have to be that. It doesn't
artificially inseminate her.
Yeah, or it could be like in Hereditary where it's like, oh, you need to find a body that can handle the what is it called? The hell? Why don't I know this word right now? Whenever you get taken over by a demon, what is it called? Possession. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know. I just slipped my mind. Like it's like, okay, we need a body for possession. So like, and it's got to fit this like criteria. So you have to like go and like, there can't be any like father, males or whatever. So you have to find a way to kill off the dad without like making a huge scene. Like, all this stuff.
Dude, that would be a great game. I can see a lot of like humor coming from that.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. There'd be a Twitch like fucking, fire game. Anyways.
I like it.
But yeah, so that's our top horror films that should be video games. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have some cool ideas, let us know in the comments here on YouTube or drop by our Facebook group and talk to us there. Instagram, doesn't matter. Anyway, so we're gonna jump on over to the People's Champ. which is actually, it's going to be someone who gave us some questions in the Facebook group. So, right, who's the champion this week?
Man, we got a lot of people, man. That could be the champion right now, man. It's kind of hard to say, man. I'm gonna give it to Devin Mayer, man. It's a good question he has, man. We got Devin Mayer here.
Devin Mayer, People's Champ.
People's Champ.
Coming at you from Facebook group.
He says, top 3 most influential video games to date.
Top.
Whether they be influential because of mechanics, control schemes, sheer amazingness, graphics, etc.
Okay, so you got Halo. Halo is definitely in that list because it changed, I feel like it changed first-person shooters forever in the way that they control. Because before that, you had, GoldenEye, So I
would put GoldenEye on the list as opposed to Halo, honestly.
But it doesn't work that way because it was at the time, it was crazy. But you can't go back and play and see. You can't really see, what GoldenEye did, because everything that was done in GoldenEye has been completely evolved because of Halo.
Yeah, but I mean, would we even have Halo were it not for GoldenEye? You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
The point is, GoldenEye influenced a wave of first-person shooters like nothing we'd ever seen before it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's kind of the case, except for Doom was already ahead of that. Which
True.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Halo changed the way that first-person shooters feel. All GoldenEye did was bring first-person shooters to console. It was already a thing on PC. It's not that it changed.
I wouldn't even say Halo did that, though. I mean,
Halo did do that. It absolutely did that. It changed the way that control sticks work. It changed.
There were games before that did that.
There was only one. It was on the PlayStation. It was Alien. Halo was the first game to really give us
Red Faction did that, dude. Fucking Half-Life.
Red Faction was a PC game.
It came out on PlayStation also.
Yeah, but it didn't have dual analog the way that Halo worked.
I think it did, dude. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think most games like around the 2000 era were already doing that. I don't know.
Nah, man. I'm telling you.
SOCOM, dude. SOCOM was doing
SOCOM was a third-person shooter.
Yeah, but it still used the twin stick layout.
It used the twin stick, but I'm talking about for first-person shooters. I'm talking about
I don't know, man. I feel like
we wouldn't have even had Call of Duty the way it worked on the console without Halo.
I don't know, dude.
I'm telling you, because Call of Duty hadn't even come to console in that same way.
Halo was great and all, but I don't think that it's that. I don't know. I think that there are other more influential shooters. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think Half-Life is more influential than
Half-Life
Halo.
is definitely more influential, but Half-Life was a PC thing. It was. I think Half-Life is definitely on this list, and in a different way though. Mm-hmm. It changed the way that physics work in games.
You know what's one that could be on this list for sure?
What's that?
Fucking Mario 64, dude. As far as just moving in a 3D space, you know what I mean?
That's true.
That shit was revolutionary,
Yeah. I want to see definitely. So what are definitely Half-Life.
Definitely Half-Life.
I would say I just want to see what they were saying. So at the time of release, Halo was cutting edge not just in terms of game design but also in terms of technology, storytelling, and features. But the path to release so to understand,
Halo was more impressive because of its graphics and mechanics and stuff, the way it played. You know what I mean? I feel like it's physics and everything, the way you could throw a grenade on top of a grenade and the grenade would blow it up into the air. You know what I mean?
For sure. I think I just don't know why. But
Halo did have a lot of quirky things that persisted into the future of games, just like Call of Duty's left trigger to aim kind of thing really stuck. You know what I mean? I feel like Halo had a lot of those things for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe it's just the story. I don't know. Maybe it was the story.
Well, Halo had an epic story too. I mean, Halo had all the moving pieces fit together perfectly.
It was also the first game I ever played that had the recharging health.
The recharging health, that was definitely a big inspiration for future games. You know what I mean?
And
to not sit there. Well, actually, the original Halo game had a recharging shield, but you still had to find health packs.
That's true. It still had the recharging shield thing, which was brand new.
Breaking. Yeah, that was.
But, and also one thing I saw, did you know that the original Halo was going to have a sprint button, but they thought nobody would like it, so they took it out?
Really?
Yes. So, like, you can still, like people have gone into the code and, turned it on. Like,
wow.
It's like it was either in the first Halo or Halo 2. But before Call of Duty ever did the sprint thing, like it was already in the game and they were just like, nobody's gonna, like that or whatever. So they didn't put it in.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's crazy. That's another thing. Call of Duty brought the sprint button.
What about graphics? Like, what game do you think is super influential in terms of like graphical capability? What was the game that you saw that made you like, holy shit, we can have realistic shit. Like, it's gonna
Final Fantasy 7.
Oh yeah.
Like whenever I first saw that,
7 really fucking showed what you could do. Although, I was sitting there last night and I was watching my like sister-in-law basically play fucking Final Fantasy 9 and which is, I didn't know it was a PlayStation 1 game, but it is. And it's so fucking impressive for a PlayStation 1 game. Like, it looks it's like 4 times more graphically polished than Final Fantasy 7, and it's a fucking PlayStation 1 game. Like, that just blows my mind.
Oh, yeah, dude. But it was closer to the end of the console,
true.
So they had...
That shit was, like, straight... It looked like some of the PS2 games, almost.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, so I would say, okay, Half-Life...
Half-Life was hella important as far as graphics
Half-Life
go.
2 might actually be more important than Half-Life 1, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. But still, you go back and look at Half-Life 1, it's like, damn, that game looked pretty good. You know what I mean?
It's so tough. It's so tough to make top 3. Like, I don't know off the top of my head, but I feel like we've touched on some of the more important ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Grand Theft Auto, I think we could say
absolutely.
GTA 3 was so influential as to what, like, the open world games and, like, the way we approach, like, the structure of gaming, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think up until GTA 3, there was a whole lot of, like, really linear, go here, do this, Like, people didn't have that freedom in games before that. And
exactly.
then, obviously, since then...
Maybe Oblivion, even. I think Oblivion might be one of those games that changed things.
Yeah,
like Morrowind was good, but
Oblivion kind of like made like the West aware of like RPGs. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
So it's so tough to say. There's so many great things. Even Metal Gear was kind of like influential in like gaming.
Absolutely. As far as like stealth goes and stuff,
and stories and stuff like that.
It wasn't really like stealth games.
Yeah, you didn't have Sam Fisher before.
No.
You didn't have Hitman before.
Fuck, that's another influential game. Like fucking Splinter Cell. As far as like playing with like shadows and stealth, that game really took
visually
like stealth games. Maybe not like the most influential game ever. But as far as, like, the way we think about, like, stealth and, like, stealth combat, like, hiding in the shadows, jumping up and, like, pinching yourself between walls and shit while people would, like, walk underneath you, using, like, the infrared goggles and stuff. There were so many little, like, stealth details they did in Splinter Cell that, like...
Yeah. I wouldn't say that it was, like, super influential just because you don't really see it in games, but, like, I would say that, like...
Well, you do see the shadow mechanics and stuff a lot, look at like modern Tomb Raider games or Assassin's Creed or something like that. I feel like you get a lot of that influence.
That's true. I guess in Assassin's Creed maybe, and then also I mean like the that weird multiplayer mode that I had where like certain people were like the you play as like the stealth in third person and then you could play in the first person.
I think
like,
a lot of people have copied that since. You know what I mean? Like that Predator game that came out, all kinds of shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anyways, so thanks for being the champion.
Yeah, good question, Devin. Moving on to the normal questions from the normal people. No, I'm just kidding.
From all the normies.
We've got Christopher Geeker here. He says, will you be playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare? Why or why not?
I think I'm more inclined to play this one than any other one, but it doesn't mean I'm going to play it. Like, I'll probably play it, but I don't know if I'm going to buy it. That's the thing. It's like...
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm not going to buy it, but if, Justin, who I'm game sharing with, ends up buying it, then, I'll play it. If I have access to it, I'll play it.
I'm just not going to go out of my way to buy it because
my thing is I got Call of Duty, all the Call of Duty I can handle on my phone right now.
Yeah, it's on
you
the
know
phone.
What I mean? It's like, why do I even need to go get it?
And also, like, I have an Xbox One, and it has, like, the only part of the game that's really new is going to be exclusive to PlayStation for a year. So it's like, it's not really worth me buying. And then a year later, when the next Call of Duty is coming out, then I can finally play what's cool about this one. So, not worth it to me. And I'm not a huge Call of Duty, like, Modern Warfare campaign guy, you know? So it's like, I just don't see any worth in it.
Yeah, I did enjoy the little demo I played of it, and so I know it's probably going to be fun, but, you know, it's Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's more COD, dude.
We have Chad McLean here.
Chatty.
He says, what was your go-to song when you want to get pumped up?
What was it? What is it?
It's X gon' give it to you.
Yeah.
You know?
X gon' give it to you.
What?
Yeah, I mean, that, it just depends on the mood, you know? Like, sometimes...
For me, it's always X gon' give it to you.
Yeah, let's go with X gon' give it to you. I mean, you can't not be hyped when you hear that song.
It's just impossible, and you can't not want to give it to somebody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true, and you don't like not feel that you're X when you're in that situation.
It's so true. You feel his pain. You know,
yeah.
You feel his struggle, his anger. You know,
his anger. Yeah, for sure.
We got Ben Stewart coming at us again with another controversial question. He says, games with great trailers and teasers that ended up being trash. Example, Anthem.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that had great trailers. The moment I saw that, I was like, that game's going to be trash. If you don't believe me, go back and listen to the first time we talked about the trailers, and I said it looked like it was going to be whack.
It's true.
Yeah, but I'm always a pessimist, so I'll probably say that about everything.
I'll tell you, Evolve. How about that?
That's a good one, because Evolve was like, I had a bunch of hype around Evolve.
Yeah, I think a lot of us did. You know, it was exciting. It was fresh. It looked new. You know, the Left 4 Dead guys were behind it, and we all trusted them at that point.
That's true. We no longer trust them. Yeah, Evolve. What's another one? What's another one that like had a shit ton of hype?
Yeah, Fable 3 got me really hyped, and I wouldn't say it was trash. You know,
it just wasn't.
But
Fable.
It wasn't as good as the previous Fable games.
It's too linear.
Yeah. Let me think.
Battlefront. Battlefront was one of those where
I liked Battlefront.
I didn't. I was bored with it really quickly. Like, it wasn't as good as I thought.
I had fun with that one. But I can see where I feel that.
And I only paid $5 for the whole fucking game, and I still was like, wow, this is not that good.
I liked it. I don't know. Man, I know there's one on like the tip of my tongue right now, but I just can't think of it. Oh well.
Yeah, we'll come back to it if you remember.
Yeah, good question. Good question, Ben. We got another one from Ben. He says, what games do you have the most stories or memorable moments with?
Wow, from childhood, probably Halo, like the first Halo.
Halo, Mario Party.
Oh, dude. Pokemon. Halo, dude, we used to have fucking link cable matches like nobody's business.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was just like every weekend, like every time there was a church lock-in, you know, like we would all just go to Brent's church, and like there'd be like 2 giant TVs, like, and we just have 4 people on each screen, and then just going to town, dude. Red
Another
versus
game
blue.
like that I had a lot of like quality memories with friends with is like Call of Duty Zombies.
That's a good one.
Like the Black Ops Zombies, I really kick out of playing with my friends with that. Man, yeah. Oh, Grand Theft Auto 5, dude. Countless memories on the online of Grand Theft Auto 5. Just, like, random encounters with people and, like...
Oh, yeah. I remember you were telling me about the guy that just, like, was like, yeah, come with me, and just, like, gave you a shit ton of money and stuff.
Dude, yeah, that guy was awesome. He gave me a tank, and he, like, flew behind me in a helicopter, and we just wreaked havoc, dude. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's always interesting. Yeah, and that just... So many. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Like, just... many memories of like just great times, weekends, all sunk into a game. Anyways, Yeah.
Great question, Ben.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, well, let us know about your games, Ben. I want to know what your greatest video.
He said here, he's got a lot of good stories from Ark, Survival Evolved, and Skyrim.
Oh, Skyrim. Yeah, so I think a lot of people have like really good memories with Oblivion. Fallout 3 is one of those.
Just the Bethesda games in general.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Even New Vegas. I think you can include New Vegas in there. Speaking of which, Outer Wilds is coming. I'm really excited about that.
The 20th, so 5 days.
No, I think it's 25th.
Is it the 25th?
Yeah,
I thought it was the 20th.
It would have been on our list of games coming out.
Oh, no, it wouldn't have.
Yeah, it would have. If it
was you're right.
20th.
Yeah, because, duh.
But,
20.
You know.
Yeah,
I think it's the 25th, but it's still really close, really exciting. So
super excited.
Let's see. We've got Audrey here. She says, if you had to live in the world of the last game you played, what world would that be?
I would be on Earth in Destiny. It's just a shitty Earth. Yeah. A shitty ended Earth.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of I think the last game I played was like right before we started doing the podcast.
You were playing Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, yeah.
So you'd be in shitty Earth too.
I'd be shitty Earth, yeah.
Yeah, we're both in just a shitty Earth.
I'd probably be dead. I'd just be like in a war zone somewhere.
The worst timeline of Earth.
Yeah. Then we got Kyle McAvoy here. He says HDMI cables. We're spending extra for the gold plated, or are all cables essentially the same? First of all, you gotta if there's a gold plated option, just go for it.
Well, the gold is a better conductor, so like that's literally why they make them like that.
Really?
Yeah, that's why it's better at conductivity.
Does it work? Does it make a difference though?
According to people at Guitar Center, whenever a cable is made with gold versus just like your normal ass cord, it's better than like apparently.
Is it noticeable though?
I guess.
Like now, I want to do a back-to-back comparison.
I think it's only noticeable if you're that much of a nerd.
I've heard of people doing this, buying special cables for their VR headset that are supposed to make the quality upgrade a little bit. But
yeah,
again, I always just kind of thought that was just bullshit. But I haven't actually personally tried it, so I can't like rightfully say it's bullshit.
Yeah, I feel like it might be a placebo effect. It's like, yo...
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I want to see this, like, back-to-back. I want to see, like,
Yeah, and if it's not true, the guy at Guitar Hero can suck it.
It's true.
He's a liar.
Okay, so, let's see. We got Tyler Travis here. He says, which accent is the least cancerous?
Wow.
Dark Phoenix, bro. It's a fact. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait,
I don't know that for a fact.
Wait, what is?
Which accent is the least cancerous?
Accent?
Accent.
Oh, accent. I was like, this is kind of racist.
No.
I was like, God, dude. No, I was like, I don't know if we can answer that, and I don't think I have an answer to that. But okay, if we're talking about axe, the worst one is that blue one that everyone used to get whenever we were in the 8th grade.
No, what's the least worst one?
Oh, there isn't one. I mean, they're all cancerous. Like, it's just that some of them will give you a tumor overnight, and then the other ones it takes like a good week.
He wants to know which one is gonna give you the least tumors.
I don't. The fucking one that no one uses. So, just don't use Axe.
I'll tell you this. It's the shampoo. It's the Axe shampoo. They're the least cancerous. Anything that sprays out with the word Axe on it, no bueno.
Just take the X and the E off of it and put
ass,
dude. It's just ass water. Like, the problem with Axe is you get what you pay for. You spray that shit on you, 10 minutes later, you're not going to have any of the scent anymore.
It's like the fruit stripe of smelling good.
It is. And except for there's no part of it that smells good. You just instantly smell like puberty.
It's true. At least Fruit Stripe has an incredible flavor.
For like an intense
minute,
second. It like
seconds,
punches you in the throat. But like, see, yeah, like I literally have like PTSD flashbacks to like the football locker room whenever I smell fucking Axe. Like it's just like I instantly get transported to a time where I'm like, please get me the fuck out of here. Like I just can't. Anyways, but yeah, so I don't know what to tell you. They're all cancer.
Okay. Well, we got another question from Tyler here.
Okay.
He says, also, what is your take on Blizzard's response to the Hong Kong controversy? We actually touched on this a little earlier in the show, so if you
want more in depth,
yeah, you can scroll to the beginning of the episode. We talked about that a little bit, but if you want my honest opinion, I think it's bullshit, man.
Yeah.
I think it's bullshit. I think Blizzard needs to man the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Your
Defend
players.
America.
Well, not just America. Your players are more important.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Than your your Chinese overlords.
Yeah.
So I say take your communist fucking government. You can shove it up your communist dick. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because this is America, and this is Texas specifically, which is like real
all
America.
All those little Winnie the Pooh sons of bitches.
Look, all I know is that free Hong Kong. That's all I'm saying, dog.
Yeah, free Hong Kong.
Free Hong Kong.
Reppin'. Free Hong Kong. I don't even...
A bunch of, Chinese,
just
bust
officials...
through the
walls and shit. Just,
start torching us. No. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. I don't even care that they came back and they're like, that's not why we did it. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second.
I don't either. Not for one fucking second.
Yeah, you don't...
And the fact that they, retracted the guy's thing, but they didn't completely take it away...
No,
the guy that they banned or whatever, they're like, oh, we shortened his sentence. Like, no, don't just shorten his sentence. Take it away completely.
And why were the guys fired? Why were the two guys that you guys said? That's conspiracy.
This is some fucking, what's that movie where fucking the dude goes to North Korea? The Interview?
The Interview.
Yeah,
that's what this is.
This is some The Interview shit, dude. Hell no, dude.
Absolutely.
Not my Blizzard.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah.
Great question.
Thanks for the listener questions, guys. We love all of you, each individually in your own way. So, just like your parents lied to you. But anyways, but we're telling the truth. So,
unlike your parents.
Anyways, so let's round out the show with Brent's segment.
Brent's Super Hardcore Video Game Trivia Challenge! These are 5 questions that will make JAMAL flex his mind like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 70s and push his brain to the absolute breaking point. This week's topic, first-person shooters.
Oh, yeah, I got this one, baby.
Okay, bro.
All right, let's hear it.
Number one.
In
the Halo series, what is Captain Key's daughter's name?
Oh, son of a bitch. It's not Alicia Keys. No, I'm just kidding. Hold on, I forgot her fucking name. God damn it.
Oh. You thought this was just going to be a walk in the park?
I thought so. I really did. Okay. God. She's like, I don't know. What is it?
Miranda Keys.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got it.
Okay.
Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys. Don't worry. One of these questions you already inadvertently answered earlier, so I know you know the answer to it.
Okay.
So number 2. Okay.
All right.
Aside from your fists, what is the only melee weapon in the original Doom game?
Aside from your fist, what is the melee weapon?
The only melee weapon.
A chainsaw.
Yes.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding. All right. 1 for 1. Doing good. Number 3. In the original Call of Duty Black Ops, which rapper
I didn't even play this.
Played a character in the story mode?
Lil Wayne.
No.
Okay, hold on. Give me one more shot.
One more guess.
Because I did not play this game.
I'll give you 2 more guesses. They're a rapper.
Were they popular at the time?
They've kind of always been popular, but they were more popular in movies at this time. They were more popular in their rap career in the 90s, early 2000, 90s.
Was it Snoop Dogg?
No,
Okay.
but he was in one of the Call of Duty games, so
God
that's a good
damn
guess.
It. That's not fair. Okay, so Black Ops, he was popular in the 90s, and he's in other movies, though?
He's in a lot of movies, yes. He's a rapper.
Oh, Ludacris.
No.
God damn it.
You're like, oh, it's Ludacris.
It's gotta
Of
be.
course.
Hold on. I gotta get this. Hold on. So, okay,
Just think about it.
popular in the 90s. And
Popular in the 90s. He was in a rap group.
okay.
He was in a rap group.
He's in a rap group.
He broke away from the rap group.
Ice Cube.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, there
I
we
gave
go.
you a lot of clues, though.
Yeah,
but,
that's not
but
fair.
Ice Cube. There you go.
But yeah, that's.
I'll give
I would
it to
have
you.
never guessed that.
Two for one here.
I was
Ice
thinking
Cube.
50 Cent, maybe, but that was early 2000s. I was like, this isn't blood on the sand territory.
Yeah, Ice Cube was like a main character in the campaign mode for Black Ops 1.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It shows you how much I know about Call of Duty.
All right, here we go. Number 4. What is the name of the antagonist from Far Cry 4?
Oh, Payman.
Oh my God, you're so close. You just.
It's pagan men.
Ah, you got it! Hey, ding, ding, ding,
Payman's
ding,
from Hereditary.
Oh, okay. All right, you're doing good. You're doing very well.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Yeah.
I know you know the answer to this question because you answered it earlier, and I was trying to steer away from it.
Okay.
This game, which is based on a movie of the same title, is widely regarded as the first game to utilize the twin-stick layout that is common in first-person shooters today.
Alien.
Alien what, though?
I don't know. Was it Resurrection?
Yes!
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
That was
ding,
just,
ding, ding,
I pulled
ding,
that out of
ding,
my
ding.
fucking ass, dude.
Yeah.
I did not know what that game was
I thought that
called.
was going to be my my fucking ace in the hole that nobody knew. You know what I mean?
Alien Resurrection.
Good one.
Dude.
I didn't even get to finish the question, and you knew the answer. Fucking.
Damn, dude. We fucking killed it today, Jamel. Just like talking to myself.
Way to go, me.
Yeah. No one did as good as you did today. No one had to struggle as much as you did. No, just kidding. Okay, well, guys, thank you for listening to the show. Remember, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of CreateForSanity.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to the GameSpeak Podcast Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/GameSpeak Podcast. Check out our video content on YouTube. All you have to do is search Create for Sanity. It's all one word. Be sure to subscribe and, follow us there. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle Al-Jaffer Jamel and Brent at Brent Has One. And be sure to check out the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram. And